Where'd the USB go?
Oh, the USB, the phone's going.
Oh, went in there?
Yeah, because,
Okay.
you know, that's not gonna need.
Yeah.
That's gonna be.
Okay.
That's how it's go.
Okay. You got this area too if you wanted to.
Where?
Like if you wanted to drill here, you could go there.
It goes all the way to here.
Does it? Okay. Okay. You're the boss. What's up in the shop today, fellas? We got a classic. We got a Prelude. That's right. We got an old school Honda Prelude in here. Really nice. He's in the middle of restoring it. He's got the paint. He's got the wheels. The interior is clean. Oh my gosh, interior is clean. Like super clean. And so like check out this. This is a 20-year-old vehicle. Look at these seats, man. No, you got a little wear right here, but it's not like it's ripped or anything. Very clean for a 90s vehicle. The armrest still functions. It's not all like warped and stuff. The door panels look good. Yeah, so like most of the time you'd see like cracks and all this across the top here. None of that. Vinyl, nothing's peeling up. So it's pretty nice. For our part, even the carpet isn't too bad. I mean, obviously you got the carpet, the coffee area here, which is normal, but we didn't have to vacuum out that much. So somebody's been taking a lot of care of it. So what are we doing to it, I guess would be the more important question. So the first thing, he's an Alpine guy, so this is getting a full Alpine system in that we have the Alpine R-Type mid-base here. That's this guy. And I can tell you right now that this was a major pain in the butt to get in here. It's a lot of work to get this into this hole. It's not made to fit at all, but we, accept the challenge. I just finished getting that one into place over there. So those two are in. It's funny because the rear is super simple. The rear, you just pop those grills off, 6x9 goes right in. But the front door, unless you're doing a 6 or a 5 1/4, you're gonna have some work on your hands to get that in there. And then the tweeter, what'd you do with the tweeter? Oh, you borrow the tweeter for me. So the tweeter is, so this guy right here. This is the Alpine tweeter, and we made an acrylic mount to put it into place. It's 3 pieces of acrylic, and how it works, if we'll come over here, I'll show you with my, so this was the first attempt, and I realized it needed to be a little bit longer. So we moved on to this guy. So this is the final. This is the middle section here. And this is the circumference of the outside of the tweeter. So the tweeter slides through this. And then this is the back plate here. So this is the back plate that sticks up. And there's a washer and a nut that spaces this out. That's what these holes are for. And then this is the front plate. So this is the smaller side of the tweeter. So basically what happens is the tweeter gets sandwiched between here and here, like so, and then it goes into the 2 factory screws. So what you're looking at here is, see, there's that screw. So the front 2 pieces attach, and then you slide the tweeter into place and you bolt the back piece on, and it just holds it, suspends it between all of that. And then use the 2 factory screws to put it back into place. And then it'll, there you go. You got your Alpine R-Type tweeter in the factory location. We're using all Alpine amplifiers. So we have the little the S-Type 4-channel, S-Type monoblock. It's going to go on 2 S-Type 10s that are going to go into the trunk. We're waiting for the box. Zen enclosures. Makes a really nice, perfect fit box for the back of this car. We can put 2 10s, put 2 grills on them, and they'll slide right back into that area there. The cool thing with those Alpine amps is why I wanted to do them is, for one, this is a 90 Prelude. Not me. That little tiny alternator there is tiny. It does have the bigger battery because it's got the VTEC, so it's got a little bit bigger battery than, let's say, the Civics would have. But still, it's not like it's putting out a ton of power. And, you know, I don't really think this needs a 2,000 watt system. And also, we can fit one amplifier here and one amplifier here. And that's why this is out like that. And, you know, he's going to drive it like he stole it. So that Zen box is going to fit right into here. And it'll go up into that area, and he'll still have all his trunk space. Because one of his concerns, it did leak, he's got it fixed. One of his concerns is that the box, he wants to be able to still put stuff in the trunk. Like, this is his Sunday car, they're going to tool around in, so he's still going to want to be able to get groceries and stuff like that in the trunk. Just wanted to go old school. Yeah, and, you know, he's older. He's got some kids. He liked Alpine back in the day. So he wants a nice little Alpine system. Wants it all to, you know, feel like he's back in high school again. Still love him. Hey, no problem, man. I'm glad you like it. So that's what's happening in the background here. He's also getting a backup camera so we can see into the past. Ooh, check out the radio. So this is the ILX W650, and it fits into the kit. You know, so it's gonna look really nice in the dash. Like, you know, so I'm pretty excited about that. That turned out nice. That kit typically sucks, but in this car it was like, so we knew that we were going to hit a wall in this one because the rear speakers went in like super easy. The dash kit went together like super easy. And then those front doors. And I was just like, man, I know it's coming. And it came. We also have a new battery put in underneath the hood. He went and picked one of those up because that battery is like from 2018 or something like that. So it's like, no. Gonna need a new battery. Classic old school Honda, very clean. Dude, this thing is super clean. It's super clean. He's had it for a while now. And he's just finally getting around to fixing it up. I get that. I still love Orion. Hey, so do I. And mine are on the wall. You know, there it is right there. And there's another one. There's another one. Yeah, there's 3 over there. So, all right. So that's what we got going on there. Now, we did get a box in the mail today, which I was pretty excited about. I guess Natasha called while I was out of town. And so I'm not a trucker hat guy. Like, I love baseball hats. I know you guys never see me in them. I typically only wear them on the weekends when I'm, you know, cruising around. I don't like to wear them as much. I wear them in my car a lot, but I hate trucker hats, and I hate the little plastic thing across there. If you like them, you like them. It's all your thing. Any big difference in sound by having tweeters in the dash corner facing the windshield versus tweeters in the A-pillars? What do you want to do the Morel component set but think tweeters will fit in my A-pillars? The Morel tweeters are really, really big, and they don't really, like, they're big. They're big tweeters, so, and they don't really have a lot of mounts per se for, like, they're big tweeters. I mean, hold on. Go back. So we'll grab a set of Morel tweeters. I'm struggling here. Hold on, Fernando. Hold this for a second. All right. Come over here. So this is, I mean, you can pull it out. So this is like the angle mount for the Morel, but the tweeter itself it's a big tweeter. And just to give you an idea, like if you're gonna put it behind a grill, you know, it's gonna be fun. But the reason why these things play down so low is because they are big ass tweeters. So, and they're all about this size. They don't make a really tiny tweeter. So just keep that in mind when you're deciding where you want to put these. But that's what you get when you want to have a tweeter that plays down to 2200. It's going to take up some room. These are the entry level set. Good God, right? All right. So anyways, he's back. So we got this box from Natasha today, and a couple months ago I asked her if I could get a regular hat because she has all the hats made. So I'm thinking that's what these are. Oh, look at this. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, here we go. Hi, Dean and Fernando. Thank you both for all your hard work. We are happy to partner with you for our favorite duo. Best regards, Tasha and Casey. Awesome. All right. Got some air fresheners. That's cool. And then some Morel polos. Ooh. All right. Let's see. All right. So there we go. We got a Morel polo. Those are awesome. Like that. I have a funeral to go to tomorrow. I might wear one of those. And then we got our hats. So we have one for me, and then one for Fernando. There you go. So we got hats. There you go. These are yours. And these are mine. Cool. Yeah, so I'm just not a fan of snap backing things, so I like an actual fitted back hat. So pretty cool. Thank you, Natasha, for getting Dean a custom hat. Yay! Better to have tweeters in dash first, tweeter and the A pillar. Yeah. There again, it really just comes down to how much work you want to put into it. I mean, I'm fine either way. I mean, I'll put them in the dash, I'll put them in the A pillar. It just, wherever they're going to fit is really what it comes down to. Sail panel is also very popular, which is kind of like the A pillar, just up front more. So what was all the work with the doors, Dean? Okay, so let's look at this. So, do you have that basket that you cut out?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the factory speaker here. You know, it's pretty shallow. It has this basket that goes into the car, and the Alpine is bigger than this. The other problem too is that the Alpine is thick. So the R-Type uses a composite basket that's about 1/4 inch thick, and then that's what the speaker sits on. So when you look at this is a composite basket that comes out, you know, like I said, it's about 1/4 inch, and then the surround of the speaker sticks out about another 1/4 inch, which is about 1/2 inch. The factory speaker at maximum is 1/4 inch. So you could get this to where this speaker would sit into that basket. But the problem is that when you go to snap the grill back on, this is literally touching the grill, which is going to wear on this corner right here. It's fine everywhere else except this corner. What you end up having to do is remove that basket and push the speaker back into the door. But it's a Honda, so the hole is super tiny. So now you have to cut out the metal hole in the back, so that even though the R-Type has neodymium magnets, which is good, you kind of need that because there's a brace here and the window here, so it has to come back as a triangle into the door. Once you've cut it, this will sit flat on that, but then it sits back too far. We wanted it to come right where the factory speaker was sitting, which is right here, as you can see, because it fills that gap in really nice. So at that point, what we had to do is laser a 1/4 inch bracket to go behind it that is the exact same size as the factory ring that's here. Same little U-shaped curves. And then we foam taped that to this so they'd all be one piece, put gasket onto the back of it, and then we drilled the holes in the door. So we thread drilled the holes with an M4 bit so that these would screw into the door, and then this goes in, and this door, so how this corner of the car holds on is there's a factory screw here, a factory screw here, and then another factory screw here. So these 3 points have to sit flush up against the metal. So this essentially has to go back on. Then you have to slide the speaker into place, and then you have to put the 4 screws in. So it's a process to just get to this point to where it's like, oh, that looks really nice, and it fits really good, and yeah. But the tweeter, nice and easy. So that's kind of the problem, Dean, you weren't kidding. I work at a car audio shop now, and yeah, I don't want to do it after work anymore. Keep it at the shop, right? Yeah. It's Sundays or Saturday and Sunday. Thank you for explaining. Oh, no problem. That's why we do this, so you can ask and try to figure out. The other thing too is that the basket of the R-Type is about a 1/16 inch too big. If you flip the R-Type over on the back, there's a nice line. So you essentially have to sand the basket of the speaker down a little bit in order for it to go in nice and smooth. The thing is that when you're working on a car like this that's old and the parts aren't readily accessible, you might be able to find these door panels, but probably not in this good shape. You have to decide what's worth more money and how much effort you want to put into it to make or you have to put the effort into it to make sure that it's a balance between modification of the door panel and the speaker and getting everything to fit so that it all goes back, looks the way it's supposed to, looks like it was made to go there. You're not destroying the car in any way, because that would be bad. Those factory speakers are going to the trash can. It's not like those are ever going to go back in here. But you still, you don't want to destroy this car in any way, because you can't get these parts, or they'll just be ugly. I see a lot of people using Clarion crossovers. Why do they use that when your head unit has a built-in crossover and your amplifier does too? More than likely, if I was to guess, they're using it for the bandpass crossover and also a higher crossover point than what would be available in the head unit. So most head units have just front-rear sub, whereas if you're doing an active system, you need tweeter, mid-bass, rear possibly, or another bandpass, and a subwoofer. So depending on how many channels it is, a DSP would do the job too, but a lot of the times they're not doing DSP because either A, they're too expensive, B, they just don't want to deal with it. But more than likely they're doing it for that bandpass, and they didn't buy a radio that had the bandpass, network mode built into it. Thank goodness for that laser cutting thing you have a lot. Oh, 100%, man, 100%. I mean, it's, looking back at like last week and the week before last, all the compilation videos that I put up for you guys to watch while we were gone, some of those videos we didn't have the laser, and it was just weird to go back and see like different thought process that was used to make the parts. I mean, we'd still basically make the same parts, but definitely not as in depth as we are now. 3-piece tweeter mount. I mean, it's funny though, because like, this is a 1990 Honda Prelude. I've worked on these cars when they were new, and working on them now 20 some odd years later, and just the difference between doing the install then and doing the install now, it's totally different. I mean, back then we probably wouldn't have screwed with this. We would have just put a 5 1/4 in the door and called it a day. Plus back then, R-Types, they had big ass magnets on them and they were super deep. You never got a pair of those into this door. Or if you did, it would have been a 5 1/4, because they did make R-Type 5 1/4s back then. So, in that tweeter, we just glued it onto the metal mount and called it a day, and, but I'm sure there's still people that do that. It's just, now with new technology for installation, working on an older car like this and just advancing it forward into, the process that we use now, it's just totally different. How did you get so knowledgeable about car audio? I'm doing it for 30 years. I mean, it's really what it comes down to, Yeah. So, I mean, daily for 30 years. You're gonna pick something up every now and then. It's just, this is what I do. This is what I know. I mean, it's just kind of how it is. I know there's still people that are doing as long as I have that don't know anything. It happens. It happens. You know, you have to apply yourself or you don't apply yourself. Just like, you know, we were talking about this car and the amount of work we're putting into it just to get it to this point. It's like you kind of have to. Getting my first amp and sub put in my 2015 Mustang this weekend. Pretty nervous for the results. Installer near me are not the best. Going about 30 minutes away for it. Well, good luck, man. I hope it turns out wonderful. Like I've said in previous videos, when you're going to get something installed, just be very specific to them. Ask questions. And if you don't feel comfortable with the answers you get, then don't go there. But, you know, don't leave up the guesswork. If there's a specific place you want the bass knob, don't assume that the installer is going to know that. Ask, say, hey, is there any way we could put the bass knob here? And if he says yes, great. If he says I'll check it out, go, okay, cool. This is, you know, and then maybe have a second. Well, if I can't go here, can I go here? A lot of the times, you know, someone will say, can I put it here? And we'll be like, I don't think it's going to go there. And then we'll suggest something else. But, you know, those are just the conversations you want to have. I love the compilation videos, but I wish there was some way you could distinguish them from new videos. They're really long. And they're really long, and I usually say full install. So I kind of changed the artwork, because I mean, if you've been following the channel for a while, you know that most videos are only about 10 minutes long. So when you see something that's like an hour and there's a picture of a car on the cover, it's not going to be one of these live show compilations. It's, you know, anything that's over an hour long is either a live show or a compilation. Other than that, it's, you know, it's not going to be a, we're not going to grab a car in the install bay and I'm not going to edit, you know, an hour and a half worth of video in one night and then put that video up the next day. It can't happen. You know, it takes way too long to edit these things. But I'm glad you like them because they're fun. What's up from Queens? Hey, guess what's up? What's up, Mr. Berg? When you guys did the Rockford Fosgate show, did you get the chills with the old Rockford van? Oh, you mean that would have been Master Tech Expo. A lot of people were having a moment. A lot of people, you know, that's Mark Fakuta's van. Mark Fakuta was there, so there was a lot of people having like, oh Jesus, you know, moments there, you know, meeting their idol, meeting the guy, you know, there was a lot of that going on. That really wasn't my scene back in the day, so you know, it didn't have the sentimental value. You know, a lot of the new guys were just like, yeah, this is cool, you know, because they weren't around back then, and I really didn't. That wasn't the thing I was into back then, so I could. There again, most people that it wasn't a come to you know, Jesus moment or you know, like hallowed ground, they had, you know, like they could appreciate the work and all that other fun stuff, but you know, it's kind of like meeting a rock star or a movie star. If he's your guy, you get excited. If he's not your guy, it's just like, oh hey, there's that actor, that guy that plays Jack Sparrow. What's his name? I can't think of it. Yeah, that's him. Yeah, look at him over there. Hi. You know. What's the best way to cut 1/4 inch ABS? Spiral cut router bit. That's typically what we use. Jigsaw is just gonna get hot, you know, get a plastic cutting bit, but cutting 1/4 inch ABS sucks. It really does. It sucks bad. If you're just cutting straight, plastic bit on the table saw, for sure, cuts right through it like butter because you're removing 1/8 of an inch of product and it's, you know, getting it out of the way fast. But other than that, it's like spiral cut router bit, and don't play around because it's, you know, it wants to move. When tuning a car without a DSP, no time alignment, do you still place the mic on the driver's seat and match left to right sides? No, because you don't have a DSP. So when tuning a car without, yeah, if you don't have I mean, you'd have to have something that has right and left EQ. So you can't match left to right. Now, some of these new higher end radios like the Sony, the new Alpine, they do have right and left EQ. So yeah, conceivably you could, but they also have time alignment. So there'd be no reason not to use time alignment. So, you know, it's not like a generic EQ is going to have right and left. So you're just going for global, which is the whole car. So you just go in for the effect of more bass, more treble. You're kind of just letting everything fall where it is. So you do have limited amount of control and adjustability. Maybe you can add an install date on the front of the vids. God, you guys are just getting picky now. I don't even... Okay. Sure. I mean... Yeah. Wow. Okay. I mean, I'll not say no, but... Yeah. Thanks for advice. Definitely gonna ask questions since it's a 5-channel. Hopefully they can do me some justice. I don't know if it'll be 12 volt quality, but as long as it runs and they're clean and not spaghetti. Hey man, you bet. Awesome 911 video. Oh, any 911 anymore? Not at the moment. No, there is no 911s. We haven't filmed any in a while. Yeah, we just haven't. We haven't really had. We've had a couple come through, but nothing that we wanted to film. Trust me, they're frustrating for us, man. It's not fun. It's not even fun doing them, let alone filming them. I know you guys love them, but you know, it really kind of puts you in a really sour mood working on these things that are just all screwed up. Like that last week, we had that SC430 that came in that they just botched big time, and you know, it's just freaking annoying, man. It's like it's like, come on, guys, this isn't rocket science here. You know, and the bad thing is a lot of the times these guys think they're clever because they figured out a way to do something wrong, and they're like, dude, I figured out a way to get this thing to work, and it's like, what? You don't need to. They make a piece to make it work. Just get the right piece. But people, you know, want to like last minute and, oh, we got this car, we got to put this in. It's like, no, you don't. You don't have the right stuff. Well, why don't you get the right stuff and then book it for another day? No, I got to get the money now. No, you don't. No, you don't. I mean, just order the right stuff. Like, for example, like this car. Paul booked this car, sold him a enclosure for the back, sold him the wrong enclosure for the back. I was like, dude, this isn't even going to fit. I don't know what you were thinking. We're going to order him the right enclosure after talking to him and discussing what it was, you know. So we're just going to put a generic box in the back for right now. And then when the other enclosure comes in later this week, we'll just swap the two out. Something like that happens. I mean, it's one of those things. But like, you know, it's like you didn't get the right dash kit and harness in. I'm not going to cut the harness and you know, make some weird cheap ass dash kit to put a radio in this. I'll just order the right one and be like, hey, we don't have it. I mean, we actually had that happen not too long ago with a Hyundai. It had an amplified system in it. It was just 1 year they make this one rogue ass amplified system that they only make this one harness for, and we had every harness for that car except that harness. So it was like we pulled it out, we looked at it, and we're like, we don't have this. So we put it all back together, apologized to the customer, said, hey, we're sorry, we don't have this particular piece. We thought we did. Ordered the right one. They came in last week, put it in. Everything's happy, everything works. Everybody's, you know, but it wasn't worth us to try to make something to try to get it to work. You know, that's kind of stupid. We're working on a old 90 Prelude. So this is old Honda Prelude that we're working on, doing an Alpine system in it to make it feel like little retro. I like you said, like Dylan in the Predator, but not Arnold. Yeah, exactly. I like to, like, when I'm meeting Harrison Ford is not anything I want to do, but if I could meet Indiana Jones, that would be cool. Yeah, that's very picky. I'm just happy to see the install you guys do. I know, thanks. Dean, have you ever done a SCAR RP series amps? If so, do you use the SMD DD1 to set the gains? Yes. The answer is yes. We've put those amplifiers in before. We've never done a big system with them. The only thing we've ever done is maybe like add in a sub or something. Most of the time, if we're going to do something that has SCAR audio, we try to get them to go with the SK series amplifiers because they're less of a headache. It's a better built amplifier. I know it's a lot more money, but it's a better quality amplifier that they make. But if you are going to do that particular amplifier, having some way to set the gains, whether it be with an SMD, whether it just be using good old-fashioned math to find out how much voltage that the amplifier should be putting out at that dedicated ohm load, which really is simple to do if you have a digital multimeter, and you can download the chart from Kicker's webpage because it's the same. It really doesn't matter for the most part. So, you know, if you're pardon me, if you get a 1500 watt, you know, the RP 1500.1, and you're going to run it at 2 ohm or 1 ohm, this is how much voltage you should have coming out of the amplifier. Play a 40 hertz test tone at -5 dB. Have the subwoofers disconnected and turn the gain up until you see that number. And when you see that number, we're just going to hope that that amplifier can put that number out. And it's not going to tell you if it's clipping or anything like that, but if it's putting out the right amount and they didn't lie, then that'll be the number you want. So, sorry, the point was I was trying to make is watch all your videos. So I watched the individual parts of an install, and the compilation videos come out, and I can never tell if it's I totally understand, man. I trust me, I totally understand. I understand. For me, it always comes down to time. How much time do I have to get something done? Getting those compilation videos done, like I had X amount of time to get those done before I had to leave, and it was just like, okay, there's only so much time in the day, man, is really what it comes down to. And I appreciate you guys watching them. Trust me, I do. And I'm glad you like them. So, and there's always stuff, you can always make something better. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what you can do. How you doing over there, Fernando?
Doing wonderful.
Yeah, what are you working on? Oh, the license plate? Okay, cool. Thanks. So I shouldn't use my RTA with mic when installing amps without the SP. Just wondering if I still have to make sure there's a target curve on the car. Sorry for the question. No. Okay, first off, yes. There's no reason not to use an RTA in the car. Just keep in mind you're going to be doing it globally, meaning you're just going to be making adjustments for everything in the car. Total sound of the car, which there's nothing wrong with doing that. Typically what I'm doing, because I have to work like a radio, I'm going to put the mic either I'm going to set it on my head, or I'm going to put it in the center of the vehicle, like put it on the armrest and put it on the little neck and put it right there. And I'm going to play pink noise at a tolerable level, not too loud. And then I'm just going to work the the little 13 band or whatever it is EQ in the car and get it to sound better, because you could still use those little EQs to make them sound better, and you'd be surprised how much like crap sound is coming out of that just a little bit of tweaking of that EQ is going to make sound so much better, like night and day. Like just bringing down 1,000 hertz, like 4 or 5 dB is like, oh wow, I can actually not feel like I'm going to be sick. So yeah, it's there. Use it. And if you got an RTA, use that too. Why not? Because the thing is the more you use the RTA, the more comfortable you get with it, and also the more you can correlate. The correlation between frequencies become more apparent. So it's like, oh, I know if I adjust this frequency, it's going to change the curve here. It can be frustrating sometimes because you're like, oh, Jesus, I don't have the band I need to fix this problem. But, you get the band in front of it, or you get the band behind it, and you start adjusting that, and hopefully it doesn't create it and make it worse. So don't worry about so much, with that EQ, you get a little dynamic and, just kind of move on. Yep. Hello, guys. Steve, Honda Tech. How's it going? It's going good. Honda Prelude. Old school. Hey, guys. Have a great day. You too. Yeah, you too. All right, let's move on down here. Our time alignment from a head unit, legit or just BS? It's legit. Okay, so if you got a head unit, you got time alignment. There's usually, depending on who makes the radio, some radios like Alpine just have time alignment. Some radios, everybody else, has time alignment and volume control. Kenwood, as soon as you turn on time alignment, actually is pretty good, like right out of the box. Like it's like, turn it on, it's like, oh shit, okay, that looks good. Listen, don't overcomplicate it. If it moves it to the center and it sounds good, leave it alone. Just be like, oh, it's a preset. Who cares? Just use it. If it works, it works. And I tell you, in Kenwood, 8 out of 10 times we'll hit the preset for driver's front, and it'll be like, oh, well, yeah, that's good. Damn it. All right. Well, I don't have to play with it now. If you do have to play with it, though, there are a couple tricks. One, I like to go back into the levels and turn my rears back up because they like to turn the rears down. Most people with head units want it loud, so I usually turn the rears back up. If you don't want the rears loud, you can keep them down. I'll fade to the front and start adjusting. So I'll play a polarity pop track, and I will turn all the levels back to 0. And I will just, and there again, it's a radio. So I'll just start moving either the drivers or the passenger, because sometimes they're actually backwards in the head unit. And I'll start moving one to see, I'll start with the driver. If it moves the center over, great. And if it doesn't, I'll put it back to 0 and I'll start moving the passenger. That means it's backwards. And I'll just listen to the pop as it moves into the center of the dash. When I get it to the center of the dash, I'll fade the rear back in. I might have to adjust it a little bit more from there. And I'm done. You know, it takes maybe 4 or 5 minutes. And it just, when the polarity pop track is going, which you can get from my disc, or you can download from, I think our website even has one under the meters section. You know, once it's in the center and it's doing its pop, 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 then you're good. And then I like to, after that, I'll play the, left, right, center, all that with the chick talking in the center, make sure she's where she needs to be. If she is off one way or the other, usually then I'll go into the level and I'll turn the level down and just see, okay, if I turn this level down 1, okay, and then she lines back up. It's like, okay, good. But yeah, using the head unit, if the presets don't work, just tweak it a little bit. You don't have to go full crazy. Okay. I have no idea on that one, man. On the Helix website, their mono amp, it has the regular power and the power output with twin power link. What is that? I gotta be honest with you, I don't know. I will find out, though. Hey, we finally got nice weather in Chicago. No problem. That's good. What would cause 2 different RTA mics to be different? I placed my DMRTA mic and my SA3055 mic next to each other, and they had different readings. 3055 mic is probably older, and the diaphragm is old, so the diaphragm could be going. You're also looking at a 3055 is going to have some drift, because it's more or less an analog circuit, whereas the DMRTA is a newer mic, it's a full digital system. So if I was to guess, and this is just a guess, is that you're just looking at the age causing the issue. Now, if we're talking totally night and day difference, I'm going to trust the DMRTA more than I am the 3055 just because of the age. And there could be something going bad in the 3055. I mean, I have one right here in that yellow case. I don't use it because the DMRTA is way more precise. Crossover points for Alpine 6.5 components, and the 3-inch have Alpine DSP wants to go active. Oh man, is it 3200? I want to say Alpine. What was it? Was it 31 or 32? And I don't remember. I want to say the tweeter was 32. The mid-range was 350, and then 80 for obviously that. So that would be his 32 to 350, or 3.2 to 350, 3.2 and up. Yeah, because Alpine really doesn't give you any information on their stuff. And we've done it. I just didn't write it down because I know. It's just, I just look at the FS and go from there. But I want to say it's 3,200. But if you never want to blow them, go for 5,000. But I want to say it's like 32. Don't call them because they're just going to tell you to use the passive crossovers. I have a DQ61 with 5-channel amp Pioneer. When I open the door, I get 3 pops on all speakers. Any advice? Okay. I would need to know what kind of car it is. My guess is you're using the GTO. In some cases, you know, you may want to not use GTO. More than likely, that's what's causing your issue, is that the amplifier is turning on, and then if you grab, like, you know, it uses the front speakers for GTO. So you could, you know, when you open and close the door, it could be causing, when the speaker moves, that could cause your popping noise. What you could try is either go into the unit, shut off GTO, which I believe on that you do have to pull the top off the unit and move the jumper over to shut GTO off, and then connect it to some form of an accessory to have it turn on. That way you're not going to get the pop when you open your doors. Or switch to something like an ING3, which will only turn on the amplifiers when the engine is running. So when you get in the car, you actually have to start the car in order for them to turn on, because it is a voltage sense turn on. But that would be my guess, is that you're having an issue with turning it on and off through the auto turn on. You know, it doesn't matter that it's GTO, it's just because you're using Alpine or audio controls, that's why it's called GTO. But it happens. So it's just a matter of finding out a way around it. How do you feel any Infinity reference as a brand, since you do a lot of Focal, Morel, and Rockford? I mean, there's a lot of people out there that are Infinity diehards, man, that just love everything there is about Harman and those speakers. It's still a great speaker. Obviously, we don't do much with it. I mean, we work with them on some of their products. We haven't done much with their speakers just because, we have Focal, Morel, Rockford, Alpine, and Kenwood. And, you know, we got like 50 different pairs of speakers, so it's hard to bring in something like that. They do make some unique stuff with the 3 ohm stuff and whatnot, but we carry Blam for that, so it's a good thing. I mean, they're good speakers. I mean, if that's the question, are they good? Yeah, the questions are good. You like the way they sound, then they're even better. How do you feel? 2016 Mustang, yes, GTO. Ooh, it's 2016 Mustang with GTO. Yep, it's gonna cause you some problems. So, hang on a second. (2016). I'm guessing it's bass audio. Dash. What's the dash look like in that? Alright, so you just got the normal dash. So the question I'd have for your Mustang is, it has the factory amplifier. If it has the factory 3-way set, where you have the tweeter, the 2.5 or 3 inch in the door and the 6 in the bottom, then it would have a factory amplifier in the corner. If it does, or if you had the 3-inch screen, that'd be different. But iData makes interfacing capabilities for that car, so you wouldn't need the DQ61 with that particular vehicle. But there again, if you like the way it sounds, everything's working except for that, I would go with the ING3, because I don't know where the accessory current is in that car, and that would eliminate all the problems that you're going to have with it. The other thing too is, if it has, this is where it gets tricky. If it has the center channel, like if it is the premium audio system and it has the center channel, you can use a TR4 off of that output, because that works differently than the other door speakers. So and then just use the TR4 to create the remote turn on, but the Ignition 3 would definitely be easier, or trying to find an accessory. But personally in that car, I would look to iData for a solution. If it's not the amplified system, you might still be able to reprogram the radio using their AR, which you could just totally do away with that altogether. So there's a lot of things you can do in Mustangs. Dean and Haley videos, no more, or are they coming? No, they're coming. It's just they've just been. It's just, Fernando, it's just been crazy this last couple months. I have a bunch of them filmed. It's just I haven't had any time to edit them. I was going to try to edit them while I was sitting in airports and stuff like that, but that was way too stressful, to say the least. So I didn't get a chance to do that. But no, I got to get through this week, and then my life goes back to normal for a decent amount of time. So trust me, I miss them because I really enjoy those way more than I enjoy these. I have a lot more fun editing those videos because it's fun. I get to, family stuff and Haley and all that nonsense. So, but no, it's driving me crazy not having the time to do that. So I'm going to try to find time this week because I just, I enjoy doing it. It's why we did it in the first place. Hello from Iceland. How did you guys set the crossovers for the GZ uranium set? Did you have a 3-way? We actually had a 2-way, and we talked about how to set them, unfortunately, in the video. I don't remember off the top of my head. Do you remember what you crossed the uraniums over at? Was it 20? Was it 22? Yeah, we crossed. So Fernando's telling me we crossed them over at 2200 hertz. So the mid-range is playing from 22 to 80. If you had a mid-bass in there, or the mid-range, it'd be 22 probably to 350. Unless you're going to be playing it stupid loud, or if you're playing it stupid quiet, you could obviously go down lower or up higher. But 22 is where we have them crossed over. Hello from Tennessee. Hi from Michigan. It's getting warm. 4-inch screen. Yeah, I still think check out the iData. I will tell you this. Okay, so another fun fact for your Mustang. Like right now, the only dash kit option for that is if you buy that really big piece from Metra. Whatever. However, if you go watch the video we did from Go Fast Solutions, in there somewhere we talk with iData, and they had a dash kit there for your car. It allows you to take the Pioneer radio that is just the screen. I don't know what model number it is on. It's been in the lineup for about 2.5 years now. But Pioneer just makes like a 6-inch and an 8-inch screen, has a cable, and they have a brain box that goes somewhere else. In the next couple months, iData is going to release a dash kit for your car that you pull your factory screen out. This piece attaches to the front of your factory bezel, and that Pioneer screen slides into it. It looks really cool. They come with knob extensions and all this other fun stuff, but it'll allow you to add an aftermarket radio to that, cheaper than and way more functional than the Metra kit if it's something you're interested in doing. So that's coming soon to a dealer near you where you'll be able to do that. So check out the Pioneer radio. They make it in a 6-inch and an 8-inch version. So you could probably buy that now and just wait till the kit comes out. I don't know. Are you still working on Bronco estimate design? Yes. Sorry, it's been crazy and it's been driving me nuts. It's still in the back of my mind. Mother's Day. It's a broken record in my head because I want to do these things, but I just don't have the time. I need better time management because I have none. And I do this, and then it's like, yeah, should be doing that. Pass kick fuse box, 10 amp fuse, right, third from top. Oh, you're talking about the Mustang. Yes, that's I think it's the wrap, or they call it something else. But yeah, there is an accessory fuse in there. If you use a fuse tap for the window switch, it's good remote turn on. Okay. For the Mustang, yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, test it with a digital multimeter, see if it turns on and off the key. I would suggest trying to do it with the car door shut because in some cases, you want it to, anyways. Or no, car door open. Do it with the car door open. I'm sorry. Test it with the car door open. If it's a wrap circuit, you test it with the car on. It may keep, so make sure the door is open. I got a new 2-door Bronco with bass system. It needs help really bad. Are you local? Bring it by. Let me take a look at it. That'll also help. If I have a 2015 Mustang GT with factory shaker system, amplifier, what's a good bypass that I can use? I have a Maestro harness, but I need the Maestro AR to bypass. The answer to that is yes. You would need the Maestro AR, and they make a new RCA harness that makes things really easy for you. Or you just need a DSR1. So if you can get your hands on a DSR1, it'll plug right in and give you 8 channels of output. Makes a wonderful little preamp for that car. If you don't want to use the DSR1 as a DSP, you can still use it as a global EQ as well as bass boost and subwoofer volume control. Or just use it as a DSP because it is a pretty solid DSP. But yeah, Scos makes one that is good for the 15 Mustang. Yes, they do, but sometimes the Scos is hard to get your hands on. But no, the Scos kit is definitely great. Even the new metric kit's pretty nice. I mean, the problem is they're both like $550, $600. Whereas the iData kit, because it's only plastic and harnesses, it's going to be way cheaper, So you're still, the radios are all the same amount of money. You're still buying the radio, but then you got to buy this expensive kit. Whereas with the iData kit that's coming out, it's a cheap kit. It's only plastics. So there's no brain modules or anything like that. You keep all your functionality from the factory, so you don't have to change anything. So that's more the argument for the iData that's coming out than anything else. If you have the 8-inch screen, you don't need any of this. You just use an MFT1 and call it a day. It's just when you have that little 3-inch screen, then it kind of screws things up. You recommend the Rockford Fosgate T400 4-channel for T26s. Yes, we do that all the time. Yep. And here is my question. What head unit should I get? Jesus, the one that you can find. It's really what it comes down to. I will say this. If you're looking for a head unit, give Paul a call, 727-216-6170. He's got a ton of head units in stock right now that he's ready to move out. So if you're interested in finding a head unit, he's got a ton of Kenwoods. He's got some JVCs. He's got a couple Alpines. Give him a call, 727-216-6170. Just say you heard it on the show, and he'll give you the show deal. And that's coming from him. It's got nothing to do with us. That's 5-star retail. So don't ask me. I don't know. I don't know what we have. I don't know anything about it. But he's got ads on the show. So if you're interested, go check him out. Also, thank Morel for the hats. Can't wait. I'm going to put one on tonight on my way home so my hair stays nice and down. You can find Morel at morelhifi.com. And don't forget, tonight in just an hour, we'll be on Facebook Live answering more of your questions. Tonight is just going to be straight Q&A because Saturday we had Jeff on. So if you didn't get your question answered Saturday, I apologize. But tune in tonight on Facebook, 5-Star Car Stereo, and we will answer as many questions as we can. I'm going to end it here. I got to get a little bit more work done before we call it a day and start setting up for the show. You guys have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you tonight. Bye.
Files.
Files?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Word this. Test.
Okay.
Got it.
Yeah? Whoa. I think they need to make the, what's up, Danny? I think they need the transition between, like, lenses, because it'll jump into the hand, and then it'll jump back to you.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
how is it?
There's like a noticeable, jump. It's kind of weird. It's not a smooth transition. You'd think there'd be a much smoother transition.
Bland?
No, it just kind of jumps from one camera lens to the next.
Yeah.
It's I mean, I get it because you're going from a wide to a narrow, and it's not going to always line up perfectly because 10 millimeters is not always 10 millimeters when you're looking at focal length.
No, the 10 millimeters, sometimes you lose it.
You definitely. I'm getting a Glow Forge this week. So excited. Good for you, Danny.
Where?
He's getting a Glow Forge.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah,
very
that'd be nice.
Congratulations, buddy.
Yep.
Yep.
Prepare for many sleepless nights. If you don't want time alignment, where would you put the EQ mic in the car to tune the EQ? I mean, if it's a full DSP, you're still going to put the microphone in the same place. You're still going to put it right here at your head.
Don't turn on
Time alignment. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it'd still put it right where your head is, personally. I don't know why you wouldn't want time alignment, because it's pretty sexy. I would make 2 presets, one with it, one without it.
I have to have time.
I know, me too. You know, you guys make me want to get my 86 Prelude SI out and take it for a drive to enjoy it. Well, this one is done. So this one is, look at those wheels. Those are nice wheels. I really like those wheels. So we have the dual fuse holders, because we put one underneath one seat, one underneath the other seat. So Fernando labeled them, made a cool mount. It's a double bolt, so you take this first bolt off, you can get the fuse out of the way, the whole bracket, and then you can remove this. Put a new battery in, because his battery was like 4 or 5 years old, so old batteries there. New, nice, full, die hard with a vengeance. Went through the firewall up behind this. This is a stick. Normally, you go, but it's a stick, so you can remove this guy here. For all you guys that have 90 Preludes, you can remove this here, and there's 2 big grommets that you can pass through right up in there, and that gets you those wires up into the car. The one thing we haven't done yet is put the dash back together, because we were just playing and making sure balance fader and
steering wheel controls
worked. Yeah. So the last thing we have to do is put the trim back on, but you can get an idea of how.
This is 5th generation?
I have no idea. Sure. Is that what Mr. Smith said?
That's what Mr. Smith said.
Yeah, could be.
5 gen.
Yeah, but all right. So what we have, if Fernando will hold that up for me, is the Alpine S-type monoblock. Fits perfect up underneath the passenger seat. So what you're looking at is your power wire comes up and in. The power wire for the other amplifier is coming across and up and in. Remote signal, everything comes up the center console into the car. I don't know why. Oh, I know why I'm wearing my watch. We were playing with the dB meter on the iWatch. Remote turn on. Subwire runs up this side of the car. We don't have the box for this yet. It comes in tomorrow. So right now we just have a 210 sealed back there, jamming on it just to figure out how everything sounds. You can set that back down. Let's come over here to the other side. This is a nice stock Honda. It is. I mean, dude, look at the seat. Look at the seat. I mean, it's a 30-year-old seat. Or more than that. Either way, I mean, it's got a little wear, but, I mean, it's not ripped or torn or anything. Oh, I'll do this. I'll get all that. So the other amp is basically the exact same. Brackets are the exact same, just mirror images of one another. So there's your 4-channel Alpine S-type amplifier, runs up into the center, and then follows all along, comes into the dash, and there you go. Trying to figure out what year it is.
2001.
Is it a 2001? All right, 20-year-old car. I thought it was a 90.
Me too.
You sure it's a 2001?
2000. Jeff says it's a 5th generation.
I don't know what that means.
He knows. Just like pigs and it's like, yeah.
Either way, who cares? Yeah. Yeah, there's no. He had it painted, so there's no more stickers anywhere on this thing. Doors are put back together. R-type tweeter, R-type mid, R-type 6x9 in the back. This isn't the right box. We get a new box tomorrow that's going to tuck up in there, but for right now, we just have 210 sealed. We have the Zen audio box coming. that'll contour to the shape of the trunk and tuck back in there further. We didn't know when it was coming in, so we just put this in there as a placeholder so we could get everything set up. 2 S-types. And it sounds really nice. It's very nice, very period correct, as it were. Plenty of power. It's plenty loud. Can't hear myself think, which is always good because I don't do much thinking. When should we consider to install two batteries? Yes, 5th gen, 97 to 02. Look at Jeff, he's just like the Prelude X. You'd think he'd have a couple of these laying around. You know, maybe 1 or 2 white ones just chilling out in his, driveway or...
All his are 92, 96.
Yeah, he's got old ones. Yeah, I could tell because the radio brackets were different. The ones I made for him, this wasn't the same one. So multiple batteries is a tough one. Obviously, one of the things to consider when adding a second battery is like, how are you going to charge it? And how big it should be. If you have, like, let's say just like a small second battery in the back is probably the easiest thing to do. But then again, it could hurt just as much as it helps. So it's difficult. Really depends on the car and how big, if you're talking like a 3 or 4K amplifier that's super inefficient, then yeah, you're going to need batteries. Probably think about maybe an alternator or an alternative charge source, like plugging it into the wall. If you're looking at these smaller, let's say, more efficient branded name, 1500 watt amp or 1500 watt amplifiers or 800 or 1000, they do a pretty good job of being pretty efficient. And the second battery, you just, it all comes down to how you want to charge it. But I would definitely, if I'm going to do a battery like that on one of the smaller systems, I'd look at just a smaller battery. I wouldn't do a big battery because you'll never be able to charge it. The smaller battery will be great, especially if you don't play the system balls to the wall all day long. That way you have the ability to possibly get the battery charged, which would be nice. That was one of the things in this, is that it's a Honda. Originally, Paul had sold them way too big of amplifiers to put in here. And my concern was that the car would not be able to support the amplifiers. So I was like, we have super efficient speakers. We don't need 1,000,000 watts of power. This thing can be plenty loud, and it is. And, we don't have to worry about voltage issues. All my Preludes are 4th gen. Oh, see, he's got old Preludes. Do most Alpine amps give you problems setting it up with high pass? No, that's weird. Really? No, not that I'm aware of. What kind of problems were you having? I could test. Any soundproofing doors and trunk? That was no. That's a big no on that one. Probably would have been something to think about, but I didn't sell the ticket and I didn't add anything to it. Again, this isn't a really big system. The way the speakers are mounted, we don't need any fastenings or anything like that because this is all built with a tunnel to come into the car. So a little bit of sound treatment on the rear probably would have been good. But other than that, I think this one is, with the volume that's going to be played at, I think this one is pretty solid. Went to a car audio shop, and guy told me 112 has more cone area than 2.8s. That's true. Looking to get 2 DD2508s. You'd have to do the math. Okay, it's an easy way to test. Do the math, figure out your cone area. Okay, it's a plate. You can figure out the actual cone area of a woofer, and for an 8 you figure it out, for the 12 you figure it out, and you multiply it by 2. And for the 8, and then you can see which one is actually bigger. I don't know. I've never sat there and figured it out. The other thing too to keep in mind is that only works, meaning comparing two drivers. I think this is more to the point. When comparing two drivers like that, they have to be identical drivers. So if I say, oh, the 112 has more cone area and it's going to sound better. Not if I'm looking at an entry-level 12 or a substandard 12 to the 2.8s that I was going to get. If I'm looking at two big, big magnet, long throw 8-inch drivers, they're going to outperform and handle more power and do stuff like that than the single 12 is going to do. So, you out of here, Johnny?
I'm out.
All right.
See
It's
you
good
guys.
seeing you.
See you, John.
Bye, John.
Bye.
Bye, John.
Oh,
All right. Talk to you soon.
yeah. Thanks, guys.
No problem. I'm with Fro. He's in Seattle today. Oh, that's right. He's at the Pacific Northwest thing. Say hi to Fro. I want to go to that. Ears ringing. Hello, guys. Hello, gents. What kind of radio and speakers you guys went with for the Prelude? So he wanted to go with a full retro system in this. This is like his high school car, dream car. This is an older gentleman.
Look
What?
at this. Jeff just sent this. It's like send it to
All right, flip your
me.
phone. Flip your phone. Cone area is king. All right. Jeff Smith, of course, is bored out of his mind, and he sent us this. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. And what we have here is somebody that conveniently did the math. So this is giving us cone area. It doesn't go into 8s, which kind of sucks, but you get the idea. So a 10 has 78. 12 has 113. So two 10s, so two 10s. So looking at two 10s is 156, and it's going to be really close. I think we're looking at a very close between two 8s and 112. Because if two 10s is 156, and then 112 is 11 or 113. I'm thinking the 2.8 is more cone area. I mean, I know we're looking at 2.10s, and you could probably, it's going to be a little less. Obviously, it's 2 inches, which is 4 inches, which, it's going to be close. It's going to be really close. For sure. What was it? Oh. Anyway, so this is a retro build, meaning he wanted it to be, he's a big fan of Alpine. He liked Alpine back in the day. So we have the ILX W650 is our source unit. The monoblock is the SA60M. On the highs, we have the SA32F. The subs are two of the SW10D2s, and then the speakers are the R6x9s and the R6.5-inch separates, which brings me to these. All right, so these are what come in the box for all these speakers. First thing you get is this 6x9 spacer, which is cool. This comes with a 6.5. This is a universal speaker adapter, mainly for Chrysler and a couple other things. This, on the other hand, this is what Alpine puts in the box. This is a 5x7 to 6.5 adapter. That's right, you guys ask about these things all the time. Alpine gives them to you in the box. If you notice these are what the speaker lines up into, and this will screw right into a 5x7, 6x8 location. So if you're looking for an easy way or an easy 6.5 to fit into that location, check out the Alpine RS65C-2. So this is a full Alpine build. Have a great week. You're building a demo vehicle to AB soft and hard dome tweeters. What two tweeters do you pick? A set of Focal K2s and a set of Morel Elates. If I'm doing it on a budget, I'm picking up a set of probably either some Tempo, Maximo tweeters, and some Access tweeters from Focal.
Studio in cars in the house.
Studio cars in the house?
Yeah.
I love those guys.
Yeah, I love those guys.
Yeah, they can make some awesome stuff.
Crazy.
I would have liked to meet him, but
yeah.
that's still a trip for those guys. Like coming to Emma, that would have been a. I mean, Jason and Peter came over.
Uh-oh.
What? It hasn't died yet. Oh, that's you. Yeah, that's not me. That's you. For a 2022 RAV4, what speakers would you recommend for the dash? I think it's a 3-inch or a 3.5. Thank you. The most popular 3.5 that we sell to go into that is going to probably be the Kenwood C3s. Really nice, shallow, easy to fit into there. I'm going to say those Kenwood C3s. Just get the set 6903s and replace the bottom door speaker as well. So the 6903, KFC 6903 will drop right in. Comes with the brackets, comes with the foam, comes with the crossovers. It's a done deal. It's a simple enough upgrade. Hey gents, wondering if swapping out the stock 4 corners in a 2021 Mustang with JL C1s and add an LOC 22 to run a JL bass amp with a JL 10-inch sub will suffice to better the overall sound. Thanks. So, I mean, we're just literally talking about swapping some tweeters out. 4 corners. Or, which Mustang do you have? Does it have the 3-way set up front, or does it have the 2-way set? I guess that would be where I would start. If it just has the tweeter and... Alright. In most cases, swapping out some speakers like that probably make it sound better. If it's just a 2-way set in the Mustang, C1s, I would probably go a little bit better than that. Maybe go up to the C3s if you're a JL fan. Not the C1s. I don't think that's going to be enough of a noticeable difference to where you're going to be like, oh my god, you're almost making a parallel move. The factory speakers aren't that bad. Would you agree?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Your phone died?
No.
Back now?
I was trying to read because I have to get out of the light to come back.
Oh, okay.
I don't have that question.
Yeah, it was a while back.
Yeah.
3-way setup, but looking at the 6.5-inch option. So if you have the 3-way setup in there, oh boy, that's a whole nother animal. What you may want to do is go back and watch any of our Mustang builds that we've done, the full Mustang builds. The 6.5 in the bottom of the door is a mid-bass. It's not a mid-range. And it's a good mid-bass. So a C1 is definitely not going to be able to handle that. Plus there's an amplifier in the kick to power everything.
Yeah.
If you're going to think about upgrading that...
I mean, it's a 3-way.
It's not even at the end of the day. If you're not going to do a full serious upgrade on it, just add the sub and call it a day.
That's it.
Tap into the mid bass in the driver's or passenger's door, and rock on from there. But if you really want, because the car sounds good enough, and C1s is not it might not even be a parallel move. That might be a move back. It's not that bad of a sound system. You really need to think about upgrading it bigger. 2 of the 3-way sets we like to use in that are the Maximo Ultra 3-way set. Power. Gonna need some power. The DSR1 with the AR harness will pull the factory amplifier out and give you an 8-channel preamp. So you just need an amp for the highs and an amp for the sub. But there again, if you're just looking for a little bit better sound, just add the subwoofer and leave the factory speakers alone. Because you're going to just make it sound worse.
Alright, so hang on, go up.
Favorite fish? His is mackerel. What am I looking at?
Studio in-car.
Studio in-car.
No, go
up. Keep going.
No, go up.
I was up. I was all the way down. Yeah, that was the smiley face from Studio in-car. What am I looking for? Do you have it on your phone?
Yeah.
Well, just get. I mean, if it's on your phone, why you?
There you go.
What?
So he said Peter from JL UK said that he spent time with you last weekend.
Yes.
I wish I was there. I had other things to do. Shame I miss you.
No, and Peter was awesome. I hung out with him. Dude, we're new best friends. We are, dude. We are best friends, man. We spent. I think we spent like 3 hours together.
So that was Jesus, you, and Peter.
Jesus, me, and Peter.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. No, Peter was cool because his dad was a jazz player that lived here in the U.S. So I got to hear all about that. But yeah, no, Peter was pretty awesome. That was British Peter. Remember, because we met the three Peters.
Yeah.
So we had German Peter, Swedish Peter, and
so many Peters.
And British Peter.
Yeah.
A lot of apparently Peters.
Peters,
Peter from PS Sound.
Yeah.
So yeah, met that. There's 4 Peters. Jesus. It's a lot of Peters.
Land.
Went to the land of Peters. That sounds so bad. Oh my gosh. You guys did my 2012 or 212 subs in a 2000 Camry, and it bangs. Bang, bang, bang. That's a song, right? Ah, you said it right there. Okay. That'd be cool.
Thank you so much.
Oh, no, you're welcome. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Kicker, amp, and subs. Sure.
Yeah, that's what we did.
Oh, yeah. Comp Rs.
Comp VRs.
Comp VR. Very Rs. Have you guys tried any of the... No, I can tell you right now, when it comes to RCAs, the only thing we ever really do is Stinger. We don't, the thing is, all right, there's a ton of great RCAs out there. A ton of great RCAs.
What is the Electromedia? Uconnect? No.
It doesn't matter. Connection. Wow. Perfect connection. Yeah.
Like
the problem is that we use a ton of RCAs, and predictability is kind of what we're going for, because this is obviously something that we have to do every day. So when something works, it's very hard to change it out for something else, because you don't want to risk breaking the chain. You use something and it works and it gives you a predictable result. That's the most important thing. You want to make sure that the job you do is repeatable, and performance and reliability. So we've been using Stingers for a really long time, and that's just what we keep using because they're predictable and reliable. So DSR1 is a good way to go. JL audio fix perhaps? No. Thank you for all the feedback thus far. Much appreciated. No. See, you don't understand. The fix is cool, but what happens is your factory radio actually has a variable voltage out. However, there's a data part to it. When you go with the DSR1 with the AFO 2 or 3, what it does is when that DSR1 goes into the car, it uses the iData AR side of it to tell the factory Ford radio that it is the factory amplifier. That means your chimes, your Bluetooth, all your features that are built into the factory amplifier then carry through the DSR1. Through the DSR1, you get 8 channels of preamp output, 5 volt, whatever you want to do with it. If you want to use, it takes away the EQ, takes away the crossover, takes away bass roll-off, takes away all the nonsense, and just gives you 8 channels of preamp level output. Now in the DSR1, there is a full 30-band EQ for each channel, time element, level control, and all that fun stuff, which is great. You can control it from your phone, an iPad, whatever, Android device. But the fix is designed to go after a factory amplifier, which there's no need to do that in this vehicle because the DSR1 will give you the cleanest output. Now, if you don't want to use the DSR1, because let's say you want to use JL Tweak, that's fine. You can do that. It's a redundant feature. It won't really give you anything other than just you'll spend more money. But
it's your money.
The solution for that car is the DSR1 with the iData T-harness and the reprogramming from the iData interface. So that's why we recommend that. It's just that's what works the best and will give you the best results in the end. We've had plenty of guys come in, buy that system, but they're like, I want to do this DSP. Way better DSP, go for it. It's no, there's no reason not to. But the Prelude is done. We are done. The Prelude is in. At the beginning of the video, we showed you what it looks like, all the amps and stuff like that. So if you want to see when we're done, or you can start it over and see.
Yeah.
Did you go with grills? Yes. Oh no, you're asking that guy.
No,
sorry. Yeah, I know. I just
But yes, we put grills in here.
2020 Durango door speakers. What's a good replacement? So So the first question I would have to ask is it amplified or non-amplified? If it's amplified, there is no good replacement because they are subwoofers and they have a impedance that most aftermarket speakers don't have. If it is a non-amplified system, it's a 6x9 in the bottom of the door, and that one has a smaller driver up in the top of the dash. It's really the Durango is unique. You could probably do a set of 6x9 inch components. So maybe the Focal 6x9 components would work. The Alpine R-Type 6x9 components would work. I think the Morels are too big, too deep.
What about the Blam?
Yeah, you could do Blam 6x9 components.
I know.
But still, that's a subwoofer, so this would only work if it is not the premium audio. If it's a premium audio, you gotta strip it and start over. Thank you guys for kind assistance. Best regards, Steve at Honda Tech. No problem, man. Fernando, I haven't seen you eating salsa no more. It's making you sick?
No, actually.
Funny you should ask. All right, so let's check out the salsa status. So we have Valentina Sriracha. Yeah, we have this one. This one kind of sucks. This one, the Steve-O, that one's acquired taste. Yeah. And then he just got this here the other day. We were out of the Valentina, and I was using this, and a little bit too runny, very watery, which results in burny watery. So I bought a bottle of Valentina the other day. So we're thick, and of course he's got his Munchin mix right here. Because it's funny you bought that because I bought a bag Sunday.
Oh really? I was looking because they make the spicy one.
Yeah, good luck.
I'm looking for
it's
it.
Christmas time.
I know.
It's only Christmas time. Yeah, and he's got his chicharronas. My Sharona.
Sharona.
So, hi Dean, what is the best way to adjust audio control epicenter micro? So, first thing you need to do is find something that has crappy bass. Whatever. I like to start at 12 o'clock on both knobs and just kind of work my way up and down from there. If you have an acoustic RTA, if you have an electrical RTA, you can fine tune the system very precisely. However, it's really not necessary. I would just use your ear and try to just it might take you a couple days before you find out what really works for you, but starting at 12 o'clock on both knobs and then just using the effect to kind of see what's happening, and then maybe go back and adjust one thing, like frequency. Like if you feel it's not low enough, turn the frequency down. If you feel like it's too low, turn the frequency up, and just kind of work your way a little bit like that. But
right. Also, if you want to see a video, we actually have a video
on the Epicenter Micro.
On the Dean and Fernando car stereo clips.
No, that one's on.
That was in the.
That's regular. Just look
car
for
stereo lab. I'm sorry.
Yes, it's in the car stereo lab playlist.
Lab. In there.
And what that would do, so in that one, we do look at it with an electrical RTA, so we kind of walk you through and show you visually the whole process as far as what it's doing. And the reason why we did that is because a lot of people, once they see what it's actually doing, then they'll kind of be like, oh, I get what it's trying to do. And then they'll oh, that felt wonderful.
Wow, dude.
Yeah, that was great.
That was bad.
That was by your workbench. Anyways, yeah, check out the video, and that might help you.
Watery.
Yeah, it was watery. Kicker for life.
Gracias, El Fernandez.
Thank you for your response. Yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And if it is broke, you can't break it more, because broke is broke. Just throwing it out there.
You're broke, buddy.
Oh, I'm broke. Dude, right now I ain't got no money. That's it. We'll go down the DSR1 route. You guys are awesome. Thank you very much. Oh, no, you're welcome. Might be hard to find a DSR1, but be patient. It's totally worth the wait. Hot sauce and flame. Ow! Biscuits are burning.
Pretty much, man.
All right, hold on. Oh, you're welcome. So I wired up a backup camera exactly how you said in your backup camera. But the LED lights stay on when the car is on. How do I get them to only come on when it is in reverse? So you bought that one camera that negates the rules of backup camera installation.
Yeah, but we made the video.
Well, so the problem is that is the one camera hooking it up the way we told you to will not work. The reason for that is, it's, all right, don't take this the wrong way, but that camera, the physical camera, is a cheaper camera that doesn't have good night vision, so they put those LEDs on there because its low light capability kind of stink. I don't know what you paid for it. It's okay. It's there again, but that's why that camera has those LEDs on it. It just has low light problems, so they put that on there. Unfortunately, with that camera, there's no way to have it to where it will work the way it's supposed to on an aftermarket radio, meaning to just turn on and off the camera and have it work, because there's no output from the radio. There's only an input that tells the camera to turn on and off. So for that camera, you do have to hook the power up to the reverse triggered output. So you don't have to change anything in the back of the car, but you do have to go back into the radio and the accessory power that the camera, you have it hooked up to accessory power. You need to hook it up to the reverse trigger. In that way, it only comes on when it's in reverse. It kind of sucks.
Yeah.
The other option you could do is put a switch in there. But then you need relays. It'd be a big pain in the butt. It'd just be easier just to, unfortunately, hook it up to the reverse trigger and have it power up that way. Kind of, yeah. That's the one camera. And unfortunately, we made that.
I was afraid that you say that.
I know,
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Welcome to the car audio world, buddy.
Yeah, I know. That's that one camera.
Well, I remember one day we did the same thing. It's like, man.
Well, no, it gets us every time. I
Yeah.
mean, someone brings in their camera and it's one of those, and it's like you don't catch it.
Yeah.
And then we're like, hey, man, lights on, nobody's home. And you're like, crap.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hopefully the DSO1 is available in Toronto, where I live. It might be. I mean, they're becoming way more available now, that's for sure. What's up, Oscar?
What's up, Oscar?
What is the best universal backup camera to be used with a 10.1-inch JVC Kenwood unit? All right, so all right. If it's the JVC, all right. If it's the Kenwood that'll take the their high-res camera, that's a looks-wise sexiest camera there is, no doubt about it. However, every other thing, this is the camera that we're using right now in Plentiful, which is this guy right here. It is an Echo Master. It is, I mean, basically it's just the current version of the one we've always talked about. Really thin, really sexy. Mm-hmm. This swivels up and down. It's perfectly centered, which is what you want with a backup camera. You want to make sure you can get it as centered as possible. Otherwise, you have to adjust your backup lines. This one does have the fake dynamic lines, so as you're turning, it turns too, which a lot of people dig. Yep, works just like a jet ski. If you stop moving, it counts to 3 and then it goes straight. Works off some centripetal force.
And it's gone.
And it's gone. But that's the camera we use in a good 80% of our installs.
Mm-hmm.
That one cam. Yep, I know, right?
Oh, that's Tommy who.
Who did you recommend for a Honda S2000 install? So the S2000 guy is at Absolute Electronics in Rockville, Maryland. He's also the guy that's making the doubled-in kits for that car for the Sony, along with all the other parts for the S2000. Mm-hmm. So that's Absolute Electronics in Rockville, Maryland.
You can find it here in Instagram, the same name.
Yeah.
Absolute Electronics.
Yeah. You can find them on Facebook. That's where they sell most of those S2000 parts through.
Yeah.
Perfect. I have both the Kenwood and the JVC. Ooh, me too, right? Yeah, check it out. I got both. I got both too.
And we go with the high res.
See, the thing
camera.
is, this has the high res that you can do front and rear.
Yeah.
And that camera is super sexy. It's a little bit bigger, and it is kind of cumbersome to mount, but it looks so damn good. Oh my God. Hey, it's the fire trucks. But personally, I like the JVC better because it doesn't have the knob, and I like the features of the radio. Plus, it has VU meters. That's really sexy. So it's like, camera versus, I don't need to see behind me.
I pick the camera.
I just like the look of the radio better.
Yeah.
Tommy. Beautiful work, you guys. Keep it up. We try our best, man. We try our best. A little tired, but other than that, you know, we try our best.
Yeah, that's right.
What else we got? Oh, you guys want to see something neat? All right, this is pretty cool.
Oh, you have a box.
Oh, yeah, we have a box. We'll look at that first. So this Honda, so we all know Hondas are like noise cancellation gods. Like they've been doing this forever. So check these out. These are the 6x9s that came out of this car. And you look at it and you're like, what the hell is this? Why is, and then if you set it up sideways and you look at it, you see this, that's a microphone built into the basket of the speaker. All right. And so this then reports to this box here. So the technology in this. So think of noise cancellation 1.0 is this whole system right here. That guy. We, of course, removed it, soldered up all the connections. This is never going to go back in the car. Hey, look at that. We left the wires long enough to where if we needed to, we can solder them back in. Wow, novel idea. Pretty crazy. But 2001, noise cancellation. Honda sucked back then, too. What do you got?
No,
okay. Oh, good.
2017 Infiniti Q50. Would you like to upgrade a speaker for better loud speaker? It has the factory Bose system. Also, you guys are the best. Thank you.
I mean, 2017 Q50, you could probably get in there and do some stuff to it. Off the top of my head, I don't know what. That's one of those cars where you just kind of got to figure out what's happening, like how many channels there are. It would probably be a great contender for a front stage upgrade. A front stage upgrade is when you concentrate all your effort and amplification on the front speakers, like new tweeters, new mid bass, and then amplifiers to power everything up. With the DSP, maybe add a subwoofer to the trunk. Obviously, add a subwoofer to the trunk, get more bass. It's Bose, so there's probably going to be some factory equalization in there that may help. Doesn't, may help, may hurt. Depends. But when you go with an aftermarket DSP, you can definitely play with the equalization, get it to sound better. But yeah, I would look at doing that. I would look first at trying to do a front stage upgrade.
Yeah.
That's always nice. Data for 2022 Chevy Colorado. Anything coming? Wah, wah, wah. Everything's coming, but nothing's coming. And that's a tough one, too. The Colorado is... If it's non-Bose, it's not that bad. If it's Bose, there's a lot you got to do. But the non-Bose, you just need the green LGDs from Audio Control. These things right here. You just need those. On the outputs of the radio, and then you have 4 channel of output. You just put a DSP in there and rock on. We've done that in the past. What?
Yeah, you should buy a Ford.
What's that?
You should buy a Ford.
A Ford?
A Ford.
I own a Ford. I like my Ford.
Talk to the guy that said it for the Chevy Colorado.
Oh yeah, Ford's way easier. After you guys, how did that Honda sound? Honda sounded good. What'd you think? You just got to hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this.
Cool.
You like the?
I would rock this car.
You would rock this car?
Totally.
Did you like the time alignment?
Oh, yeah.
Did you know it was time alignment?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's just basic radio, but yeah, no, it's cool. I like it.
So what we were talking about yesterday, someone asked, like, how do I time align an aftermarket radio? Because I'm not going to do DSP. Is it worth it? Is it fake? Is it real? And the answer is yes. It's totally real. It's totally cool. Let's go into this one here real quick, and I'll kind of show you what we did. So the first thing is wait for the radio to boot up. What about iData for 2021 F-150 non-amp for DSR1? On the 2021, Danny, if it is the new harness. They don't have the new harness yet. So that new square harness, they don't have it. If it's the old harness, then yes, the DFO2 will work in that car, reprogram the radio. But it's a little bit different process according to iData when we talk to them. So they're running behind. I mean, let's be honest, they're always running behind. It's just because there's so much to do. All right, so when you look at this, we'll go into here, we'll go into sound, we'll go to advanced, we'll go to time correction. So on the Alpine, they don't have any level control, which kind of sucks, because in order, like Kenwood, Pioneer, Sony all have level control, which makes things a little bit easier, because once you get it correct, if one is louder, you can easily go in there and control the level. In this, basically what I did is I left it in milliseconds of delay instead of inches, and I added just 2.5 milliseconds to the rear. I just needed some place to start. You can start at 3, you can start at 4, it really doesn't matter. It depends on just how big you want the cab to sound. And then I start playing polarity pops. Do you have polarity pops? Can you play that real quick? You got a lot of playlists, man.
I got a lot of playlists.
You got a lot of playlists.
I mean, I have to pick my
your playlist.
what I want, yeah.
Okay.
You know, depends how I feel in the morning.
So that is polarity pops, and we're using the Sheffield Labs My Disc polarity pulses. All right, so now what I'm doing is I'm playing that through the system. Go ahead and turn that plug. Oh, I was gonna say plug that in. Okay. Do it again and plug it in. So my doors are gonna be closed. I'm gonna have these doors closed. All right. Now you can do it one of two ways. You can just fade it to the front and concentrate on the front and then figure out the rear, or just start with the rear already delayed. So we'll go back to the menu here, settings, sound, advanced, time alignment. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just keep hitting this button and adding 1, 1, 1, 1. And what's gonna happen is the pulse is gonna start doing this. Very slowly moving across the dash. And then when I feel like it's in the center, I'm like, okay, that's the center. Now I'll switch tracks to the two people talking. Do you have that one on there?
My voice should appear.
This track here, go ahead and hit pause.
Far left.
And what it'll do is it might appear in the left, the center, and the right. If she is in the center, good. But sometimes it'll be off, and then what I'll do is I'll tap up or tap down. And then once I've done that, I'll make sure that the rear isn't making it sound echoey, like it's not like, and if it's echoey, I'll add some more delay to it, or I'll take some delay away. And then I'll guess, once I have this for the subwoofer, because there again, I have a bass knob, and he's got way tons of bass. He's not worried about upfront bass in this. He wants bass. I'm just going to add some delay. I don't have to if I don't want to. If you don't want to add delay to the bass, don't. It doesn't matter. But, you know, with a bass knob and a ton of bass, you're not going to have upfront bass. We're just going for surround on the dash, making it sound good. This is a radio, so everyone, you know. But if you haven't done this, try it. It's really that simple. Like, I could set this back to 0. We could hop in the car and we could knock it out, and I know where it's going to end up. And that's it. That's all you got to do.
And if you don't like it, just play it.
Yeah. And then make sure you hit preset. You know, on an Alpine, you got to do a preset. If you have like a Kenwood, make sure you store your settings. If it has no store, take a screenshot, because you don't want to lose that information. See, it's not getting upfront bass. It's no upfront bass. It's just bass everywhere bass.
That's it.
That's all you get.
For this.
Yeah, exactly. You pay for that bass. So, you know, and this is a very efficient system. So, like the other day, we were talking about power, efficiency, both in the amplifier and the speakers. So, like, this system is 100 amps. Yeah, this is 100 amps of current draw. The whole system is 100 amps of current draw, and so it's very, very efficient. The speakers, the Alpines, they have a high dB rating on them, so 1 watt, 1 meter. dB rating on these is really. I wonder if it's on the box. I'm guessing it's going to be 93. Could be higher, though. Let's see what we got. You look on the subwoofer. I'll look on this. See if they've posted on here. Because I doubt they do. Because that would just be really cool.
No.
Yeah, Alpine.
In there, it has to, no?
No.
Really?
No. Alpine doesn't like to do that, man. Remember when we called about the tweeter? And they were like, no, man. Sorry. Ain't going to happen. They do put the box subwoofer enclosure sides, which is kind of nice.
Important. Efficiency is not important.
But anyway, so what we have is we have some very efficient amplifiers. We have some efficient speakers. So now we only have 100 watts of current draw. 100 amps of current draw, not 100 watts, sorry. And it's loud. There we go. So those are the subwoofers right here.
It's
right here.
85.
So the subwoofers are 85 dBs of efficiency, which is pretty good for a subwoofer. I wonder, here, you want to check and see if...
I think it's 85.
Yeah, it looks like 85. Yeah. So there again. High efficiency on the subwoofer. Let's see what the mids and highs, if they have any information on those.
Right here. Oh my God.
90 on the 6x9, which is about right. Let's see what the 6.5 says. Ow!
It's okay, man. It's okay.
They put it in the same spot. Oh, look at that. They put it in the same spot. 93.
80.
Ooh.
88.
Wow. I would have guessed higher. I did guess higher. 88, 1 watt, 1 meter. Man, those things are killing it. Wow. So, man, there you go. Wonder if they see. That's the problem, though. I don't think they break out the mid range and the tweeter, because this new mid range or the new tweeter in this is super loud.
Super loud. Yeah, it is.
So I'm wondering if that's just an average, because I know that tweeter is definitely not 88. There's no way. But either way, efficient speakers.
Yeah.
Small amount of power. Super loud. Pretty bitchin'. Let's see what we got here. Those Alpine amps are very efficient. Yeah, and that's why we want to do this, because it's a Honda. Honda's got a small alternator, especially this older one. Back then, the alternator, you had to be moving in order to get power out of it. How many of you guys have owned one of these, one of these older Hondas? When you're sitting at the light, and if you have a voltmeter in there, it's like there's no power coming out of this car. It's literally relying on the battery to sit there. I know when we had a CRV, the alternator really didn't kick on until you were going 45 miles an hour. So
I think the next one is going to be a big alternator over here.
No, it's going to put a turbo on it.
Turbo in here.
Yeah, it'll be a turbo.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a Honda. You got to put a turbo on it. Jacksonville in the house. As long as it bangs like a boss. I think it bangs better than a boss.
Oh, yeah.
But whatever works. All right, guys, listen, that's been fun. We got a little bit of stuff we got to do before we get out of here today, so we're going to end it here. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you want amazing car audio for your car at all different price points, from mild to wild, make sure you head over to Morel Hi-Fi. That is morelhifi.com, where you can check out some of the coolest Israeli-made car audio on the planet.
Yeah.
If you want the biggest, smoothest sounding silk soft dome tweeters there are, or cloth, Morel Hi-Fi is the place to go. And if you want one of the coolest Bluetooth home audio speakers ever, if you're an IKEA fan, they got just the thing for you. Do you remember how this...
No, I'm not going to say it because everybody pronounces it.
Everybody pronounces it differently.
Yeah.
But they got some really cool Bluetooth...
Check the home cabinet.
Hagtalar.
No,
Hogtalar?
that's not.
Yeah, it's Hogtalar. Hagtalar?
No, you're
Yeah.
wrong.
Oh, okay, whatever. Anyways, check it out. You guys have a great day. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye, guys.
What do I know? Is that a 25-foot tape measure?
It is a 25.
I was going to say. You know they make 6-footers.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, and 10-footers.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy. And I think they have a 15-footer. I think we had those at one point. Didn't we have like a
small one?
We had a small green one that we lost, so we went to the big one.
Yeah, and the bright.
Yeah.
So it's like this here. You can see that doesn't fit in the car.
No, you'd still put it there.
I would still leave it in there.
I was going to say, you'd still leave it in there. You don't buy another one. It's not a big deal.
Like,
Yeah.
That's the reason why we have two.
Yeah. Well, I don't know where the other one. Oh, it's right there.
There you go.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah. It's easy to see though, because like you could see it from way over here.
Right.
It's like there's the other tape measure.
Yeah.
Right next to the router, because that's where I was building the amp rack. I love it when you're building something, especially you, and you'll literally have both tape measures sitting on your workbench.
I had two hands. I have to.
And you'll be like, you'll measure it, and then you'll leave. You'll come over and you realize, oh, I need a tape measure. You'll grab the other one, and then you'll bring them both back to your workbench. And I'll be like, where the hell are the tape measures? I don't know. It's the first thing you always say. I don't know.
Well, I have to make sure that, like, all right, so it's 10 inches. Let me grab the other one to make sure that's 10 inches.
Oh, measure twice with two tape measures and then cut once? Okay. Yeah. See, where the tape measure actually lives, so is right here.
Yeah.
Believe it or not,
and
that's
the other one is
right there. So, but that's where they go. Has the price on CNC machines risen substantially? Ooh, I'd have to guess that they have. Yeah.
What?
The price of CNC machines, because of all the chip shortages and all the nonsense and shipping, and I mean,
A good question.
I'm sure they have. Yeah, I'm guessing 100% because
You guessing 100%?
I'm guessing they have gone up substantially.
Oh.
I would, like, if I probably, like, if I was in the market to buy one right now, I would probably wait. Fortunately, I'm in the market to wait, so
Yeah.
I'm hoping by the end of the year they're whatever, not crazy, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Because the end of the year would be the time to look at getting one.
That's right.
Yeah, but hey, if you need one now, just go for it. I mean, what the hell?
Let me know.
Everything is expensive.
Yeah.
So anyways, what do we got going on here today? This is hey from Norway. This is a Passat.
Yes.
This is a 2019 Volkswagen Passat with the fender system in it.
It has a fender right here.
It has two fenders, but
Yeah.
this also has it's 92 in Chicago right now, says Danny.
Ooh, very cool. That's
Danny.
like 79 in here.
Yeah, it's the weather's actually better here than it is in Chicago. But hey, that's the joy though. Like our weather stays within 30, 40 degrees all year round.
It's 84.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah, but still, I mean, it still feels nice. Yeah, we had a little rain today.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Poor Danny.
Sorry, man.
Yeah, and there again, look, it's 94 in Lake Havasu, Arizona. Like this morning, it was 50 there.
Talking about Arizona.
Yeah, we've been talking about Arizona, it seems like all day. Can't find speaker colors for 2001 CX-5. No info online. Anyone know? I have no idea what they are.
Where's the CX-5?
That's Polarity Tester, PT9A Plus. You can figure it all out by yourself. I mean, if you need to. Anyway, so what we have is a 2019 Passat with the fender system. The fender system, for those of you who don't have an idea of what it is located on the rear package tray is a down-firing, what looks like an 8 or 10-inch driver, dual voice coil. It does not port through the rear deck. It just down-fires. There's no air coming up into the car. It's just firing into this area here. In the front doors are two 6.5-inch dual voice coil mid-bass. That's right, there's a dual voice coil. It is not a loop up to the tweeter or anything like that. It's a substantially small magnet, but deep bass sounding driver that's located here. There are tweeters up here in the dash. They're in a plastic housing that does come apart, so you can fit a new tweeter up inside the housing if you're creative. There is a tweeter here and a mid-range here that is connected in parallel, so they share the same channel. But these two are active channels. So there's 4 active channels for the front door speakers here. There's 2 active channels for the tweeters. There's just a pair of active channels for this. So you got 4 channels here, 6, 8, dual voice coil sub 10. It has a 10-channel factory Fender amplifier in it. That is this little guy right here. This is located up underneath the driver's front seat, which is what we're looking at right here. This is going to, I had to pull it back out because I'm getting ready to solder my wires together. It will hide up in here, but there is where my DSR1 goes. So 2019 Fender system is AR compatible. So we are using the DSR1 connected via AR. You can tell just because it has both of these harnesses connected up. This is the data harness for the AR portion of the DSR1. This is the speaker and power harness. This is a CAN bus connection that is made here in the harness. This is all done in the harness itself, and then it plugs in just like this. So this is the DSR1 harness, or the AR Volkswagen. It's like a VW2 or 3, I think is what it's called. I don't remember. And at the end of it, we have our speaker wires here. Out of this, it has all of the wires. So every wire that's in the car does come through this harness. We have just made it so it's the wires we care about. So we have our passive crossovers here. And the reason why there's 4 passive crossovers is because these are Audison Prima 165Ps, which is the power handling version. It's bigger. They give you 2 crossovers for the tweeter and 2 crossovers for the mid-range. So they're bi-ampable, and or and like in this case where you have a speaker mounted here and a speaker mounted here, you don't have a big passive crossover that you have to find some place to hide. You could easily put these next to the speaker if you need to, or put, you could put them in the door. I don't recommend it, but whatever you decide to do. In this case, we mounted them all right here using their factory mounting bracket, because the factory speaker wires are all right here. So it all zip ties into place and attaches. These are the 2 RCAs that are not being used by the DSR1. These clips here, there's a whole plastic cover plate that goes over this and hides it, because this is the factory amplifier mount. We've just repurposed it, made a new piece of plastic that slides into place for the DSR1. So this will be covered, and then behind it is the Audison SR 5.6, I believe it's called. It's their 5-channel amplifier in the SR line. This is a pretty cool amp. There's a lot of really cool features about this amp that I think are awesome. I might even actually own one of these. Sadly, I don't know, but I think I do own one of these. Either that or I own the 4 channels. But what's cool about this 5-channel is it does have the ability to do tweeter mid-range. It does has a 10-time multiplier switch for the tweeter. It has bandpass, and how it achieves the bandpass for channels 3 and 4 is whatever you set the tweeter crossover point to becomes the top for the mid-range, and then you set the bottom for the mid-range. So like if you're setting your tweeter at 3200, it just assumes you're going to put your mid-range at 3200. So it's not fully variable, but it's pretty cool. The other thing that makes this really special is it has a true 3-channel mode that most amplifiers don't have, and most people don't realize that. When this is in 3-channel mode, you just use RCA's inputs 1 and 2. Most of the time when you're going to do a 3-channel mode, you have to use Y jacks to input into all 4 inputs. So you have a right and a left, but this has switching internally that will feed channel 1 to bridge amp 1 and 2, and channel 2 to bridge amp 3 and 4, which is really freaking cool. Has auto sense on and on. It's called ART. Subwoofer, bass boost. From that, it's pretty straightforward. It's an over-under wiring configuration, so you have all positives on the tops, all negatives on the bottom. I think that's pretty cool, like that. And so this amp is going to slide into place here. These are the factory screw bolts, so this will just tuck up into this. The factory screw bolts are in place, and so everything tucks beautifully up underneath this front seat. There is a ton of leg room in the back of the car. That's where we're like, yeah, this is cool. We're going to do this, as opposed to trying to find some other place to hide it. This will totally be hidden, be out of the way, as factory as can be. This is the subwire here. It's going to go to the back, and he is getting a Rockford P2 factory box with a grill. Yeah. So all of the power wire and everything, all the signal, it's like a 1.5 RCA. So it just all connects right through here. Down here, you can kind of see these are the RCAs from the DSR1. They're all shrink wrapped together. I like doing this on the DSR1 because they're going to be hidden somewhere, and I don't want them to get loose, vibrate, or anything like that. So we shrink wrap them all together. so that you won't have to worry about that. Next is soldering this bundle of wires to this bundle of wires, and that'll get all my signal and remote turn on all taken care of. And then this panel, this clip will go back down inside of here. This carpet will lay flat, and that's it as far as that goes. Power comes up through here, over, across, and it's going to come into the firewall, so it is as far away as we could get it. The bass knob, Fernando found a cool place for it. Is located right there. This little panel here is a knockout, so that comes out, and we can easily mount the bass knob there without ruining the center console. So if he ever goes back to factory, he's all good. It's VW Passat, and that's really what we got going on with that. Yeah, it's pretty cool. We played with the DSR1 yesterday when we got it, because we've never done this particular configuration with the Volkswagen, so we wanted to make sure everything worked the way it was supposed to. Perfect bass knob placement. Good job, Fernando. He's the man. Oh, also, let's talk about the doors for a minute, because that's why he left this door panel off. So what we have is, this is our basic plus sound treatment. So we focus all around this area here, and on the same inside of the door panel, fast ring on the back, foam on it. And then with the plus, we then come over to the door panel itself, and we add in more sound treatment around where the speaker is going to focus all its energy, so that it doesn't cause any undue vibrations. And then what's the software you guys use for wire colors? We really don't. I honestly don't have any software for wire colors. We just honestly figure it out, or I'm old school. I like to just figure it out, because I don't trust the internet as much as most people. So if I can find the wire, I can figure out what it does. So we just typically do that. In this case, what we're looking at, and this was a prime example of that. So this is the factory harness here. It was a dual voice coil, like I said. And what we needed to figure out is which one of these wires is the one we want. And in this case, it turned out to be this brown blue, brown green. This is our test speaker, positive, negative. We have two PT9A pluses. I had already wired up this harness and everything, so we were able to just grab what we've already tested as front, which are these, because we tested all of these before we started. Connect up positive, negative here, plug into this, pop that speaker with the PT9A plus, which is the polarity checker, which is this thing right here. Sorry, so this guy right here, you get from Mobile Solutions. It's going to tell us first off which pair is putting out sound, and then once we know which pair is putting out sound, we can then test to see what's positive and negative, because green would be positive, red would be negative. So the reason why it's still plugged in is because Fernando has to go through and do this, and I had done this for him while I was sitting here, so he'll be able to connect these two wires up to those two wires, and everything will be the way it's supposed to be. And to us, that's much faster to do than to go crazy and spend an hour or two scouring the internet. It's just, tools make your life easier, 100%. Got to get the right tools. That thing's like, I don't know, $120 or something. I understand if you're not doing a ton of cars, it's totally not necessary, but it's still. Speaking of speaker wires, did you run new speaker wires in my car's Illusion Avalon? Honestly, I don't remember if we did or not. I don't remember. There is, it has the big passive crossover, so if we went active, there's going to be new wiring. If it was passive, there's going to be new wiring in there somewhere. Mm-hmm. As far as how much of it, I don't know. Yeah. Alright, so you guys are having a conversation. Yep. Alright. Hi, Tommy, by the way.
Tommy.
Okay, so much stuff. He doesn't know what he owns.
What's that?
He said Dean's has so much stuff he doesn't know what he owns.
That is correct.
Yeah, you are correct there. Speaking of owning some stuff, I did get we got a gift the other day. So hang on, this is pretty cool. Let me flip this around. All right, so this is happy birthday, Dean, from El Fernandez. And thank you, El Fernandez. And this is super cool. As you guys know, I like as many different versions of tools as possible. Wire cutters. One of the things we use a ton of are nut certs, or rivets as we like to call them. And what he got us was a pistol style pneumatic riveter. So it has interchangeable heads. It'll do an M6, M8, M10. Still haven't figured out how it works yet because we, don't know. But this guy goes into here. I'm assuming I'm gonna squeeze in the rivet, and this pops in like that. And I'm guessing it has like an air hammer feature that's going to do something. I haven't put air to it yet because I got to change the air nozzle because it has a weird air nozzle on it, but it came with a different air nozzle. So hopefully next week I'll get some time to play with this cool toy, or cool tool, I should say. It also came with some nuts, which is pretty neat. So stay tuned. We will get to play with this and find out what kind of fun we can have. Because who doesn't like tools? I love them. So thank you, El Fernandez, for coming out with something nifty as hell, as always.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, you never have enough tools, man. How did I get it in the box and then not get it in the box? There we go. So, cool.
Who makes that tool?
It's just Fumatic. Honestly, I have no idea who makes it because I don't read Asian. But it is it's right here. Hifeson. Hifeson pneumatic rivet nut gun.
Hey, just type that.
Yeah. Yep. So if it's cool, we'll add it to DNF tool drawer.
China does it. Oh, that's great. Oh my god, dude.
China makes it. So thank you, El Fernandez, coming through as always, man.
Yeah.
Much appreciated. Hey, one of the things that we had someone ask about this past week that kind of stuck with me was somebody had asked the question. A stereo shop had told him that 112 was louder or had more cone area than 2.8s. And Jeff had sent us a diagram called Cone Area is King, and they didn't have 8s on there, and naturally you could do the math and all this other fun stuff, but that unfortunately led me down a rabbit hole of really wanting to be able to explain that better. Like, I tried to explain some of the other factors involved, and I needed better clarification. So I called up my friend Andy Waymeyer of Audio Frog, and I said, "Hey man, this is really kind of bugging me. Let's go deeper on this," as Andy would. And he spent the next 45 minutes going over everything that you need to know about cone area, loudness of woofers, and all the nonsense that was involved in that. So basically what that means is we're going to turn that into a fundamentals, hopefully this weekend or next. And we're going to address that topic and try to make more sense of what you need to look at when someone makes the blanket statement of, well, that speaker is louder than that speaker, because it's super easy to know right away, and we're going to tell you how, so that anybody can look at it.
Yeah.
And so that was a lot of fun. Would you rather have 2 8-ounce beers or 1 12-ounce Boom 2? What's a Boom 2? You know what a Boom 2 is?
No. I think it's like boom.
No, I'm thinking like maybe.
I ride to have the one open.
The one that's open? The one that somebody puts in my hand?
Yeah, exactly. All right, so again, gentlemen, not sure if you what's covered on the topic, but I please ask you an opinion about power bass in the 4-line as a straight speaker replacement. Thanks a ton.
One of my favorite companies right now is Power Bass. Okay, we're a Power Bass dealer. We have Power Bass. Years ago, we had Jeff Falk on. Falk.
Yep.
Sorry, his last name is, I suck at last names. From Power Bass, had a chance to interview him, which led me down the path of I need to know more about Power Bass. I think it's a very cool company, and I just absolutely love what they're doing with the plug and play for factory upgrade speakers. It's one of my favorite basic upgrades when someone comes in and they're like, I want a better stereo, I have a price point, I want to do something that's nice, it's better than this. Set of Power Bass, like an F-150. Guy comes in, he's straight like hardcore hitting the budget, but he wants a nice package. Kicker key, Power Bass 6x9s for the front, 6.5s for the back, 110 preloaded something if we have the budget, with a small, maybe a 501, maybe something smaller, maybe actually, what we do most of the time is the Rockford P300. Mm-hmm. Wow, 8 or 10.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, big fan of Power Bass.
Yeah.
There again, they're factory fit speakers. I don't know anything else about the company. I don't know about their subs. I don't know about, but their factory.
But specifically
when it comes to
Fords,
factory fit, big fan.
Yeah.
Love what they're doing.
Yeah.
They sound good. Great value. I can't say enough about them. Big fan. Big fan.
All right. If I call the store for information on a DSP, is that okay?
You probably won't get an answer to it.
No.
I'll tell you right now, Paul doesn't talk DSP, and the likelihood of me being over there is going to be thin.
If you want to know about DSP tomorrow,
try to ask the question during the live show.
ask the question.
6 to 7.
Oh, so we have so many. We have,
do have a lot of
videos
DSP
on
videos.
DSPs. So yeah.
If you have a specific DSP, that the question is going to pertain to, that's important, because we have a lot of videos that we've done on DSP specifically. But if there's one that you guys are like, I really like them more about, we could just do a DSP chat, as we like to do on Saturdays, where we'll take 20-30 minutes, just kind of walk you through the DSP process. So let us know the DSP that you're
tomorrow, 6:30.
Yeah.
What's up, Oscar?
What's the best way to add amplifiers into a base model 2017 Subaru Impreza? It's going to depend. Hopefully it doesn't have the World Link or Omni Link or the Blue Starlink. I don't know, some kind of link, star, moon. Starlink kind of screws a lot of things up, not gonna lie. It's a nightmare to deal with as a Subaru owner, and it sucks to deal with it after the fact, because the front stage of the car passes through Starlink. It's a module to do all the audio. But if you're just looking to do something simple, a good amplifier with a good high level to low level section, I'm a big fan of. It is EQ'd. The last Impreza we did, it did have the base model audio system in it. We put a Forza in it. We did a full Prima system. It sounded fabulous, awesome stuff. But a DSP amp is going to be the way, is really what you're going to want to look at. Small DSP amp. Helix makes small DSP amps. Audison makes small DSP amps in the Prima line. But anytime you're dealing with factory, you're going to want some way to get in there. Now, if you want it to be flat and you want to just be like, no, I just want to do amps, and just amp it and call it a day. There again, get an amplifier with a good high level to low level built into it, maybe like an LC or a D. They're going to D has audio control is going to have DSP built into it. But yeah, something along those lines. Hi, Oscar. Exactly what I was looking for. I take the sound quality is greater over stock. Oh, it's way better than stock. Honestly, dude, I'm telling you, for the money,
And like Dean say, you put that kicker key. Oh man, that's it. That's it. Yeah, I know. That's what I got.
Yeah, I know, right? He is the Mexican Wolverine. There's no question about it. He's short. Yeah, he's got a bad attitude. Oh God, that was hilarious. I only want trouble. Dean, area you're going to get that true technology new DSP. Oh, are you? Sorry.
Are you?
As of right now, I didn't even know they were coming out with a DSP. Got to be honest with you. There's a lot of DSPs I'd like to own. I want to get my hands on. For example, I would love to get the 12-channel Alpine DSP. It's silent but deadly.
Yeah.
I would love to get my hands on one of those. There's a bunch of new DSPs coming out here in the next year. We'll just say that I can't wait to get my hands on from a lot of different companies. Yeah. So I just kind of play it by ear and see what happens. The thing is I'm not into buying $4,000 DSPs because
why not?
It's not a realistic thing that most people are going to deal with, and the guys that are going to buy those are going to have somebody else tune them, so it really doesn't matter. It's not like most people aren't going to be asking questions other than is it worth $4,000. It's going to probably the answer would be no. But capacitors or crossovers when installing my tweeters. Well, capacitor is a crossover. You mean active or passive? Meaning, do you want a passive crossover and an electronic crossover? Personally, I feel an electronic crossover is more precise and you can really dial it in and get the points that you want. A capacitor is a 6 dB crossover network. If you have an electronic crossover, you have 6, 12, 18, 24, possibly, Linkwitz Rowley, Butterworth. So it's going to, I prefer that because I can dial it into what I want. For example, like a Focal, 5,000 hertz, 24 dB. Morel, 2200 hertz, between 18 and 24, sometimes 12. Just depends on where the tweeter is in relationship to the mid-range. That changes because that tweeter plays down so low as opposed to the Focal that doesn't. So it really changes the way things work. Yeah, they're getting high out back. High on life. No. Can we start a GoFundMe for a haircut Fernando? We don't even need to do that. I'd pay for it. He's just lazy.
Yeah, man. I'm going to let it go.
Don't forget about the Alpine DSP amp. Oh, I know. That's going to be sexy. Dude, you got to remember, a lot of the times we knew about this shit long before you guys, so we kind of have to forget about it because I'm anxious. Like, I want shit now. And so, like, when we find out early that stuff's coming out, and it's like, oh, that's going to be so cool. It's like a month or a year or 2 years or God only knows, like kicker, it could be 6 years away. Let's just not think about it.
Yeah.
What's up? What's up? Have you guys been able to get your hands on an Audison Beacon? I don't think I've been looking for one.
We have it over there.
We do?
So, yeah.
He has one over. Paul has one.
Yeah.
Apparently. What about the new P6?
DSP.
Do we have one? I don't know if I ordered one.
Over there?
I don't think I ordered one.
Really?
I didn't order any Helix standalone DSP. I only ordered the amplifiers.
Right.
Because the likelihood of us just doing that. So
the P6 is not the DSP?
I think the P6 is the DSP. Yeah.
Yeah.
Source parts. Passive. Yeah. I thought they were called filters. Well, they are called filters. They're called filters. They're called crossovers. They're called capacitors. They're called
not blowing my speaker.
Chokes. There's a lot of different things you can call. At the end of the day, yes, a filter is going to limit the sound that gets to a particular driver. There'll be a high or low pass. Technically, a crossover and the audio sense does nothing to do with what we commonly refer to as a crossover. Crossover is where your output devices on your amplifier, specifically on like an AB amplifier, where the two cross the 0 point and how far past that to create the sound is really the crossover point to an engineer.
Yeah.
They will call them filters, and you will get yelled at when you call them a crossover because they'll be like, "That's not a crossover, it's a filter." And you're like, "Bro, Star Trek or Star Wars?" You got to change the topic real fast, and that's an easy out. So if you're ever dealing with an engineer, and if you're an engineer out there, it's not stereotyping. I like them both too, you know. But that's how you put the room to ease, man. That's how you dial everybody back
They're
down.
gonna punch you in the face.
No, they're all nerds, dude. Trust me. You walk into a room of engineers and you got a camera and you're like, when do you guys get to talk to me? And they're just like, oh, not me.
They started like running.
Yeah, you got to really dial them back, man. You got to drop your nude card on the floor. Easiest DSP to set without a PC, DSR1. Rockford Fosgate DSR1. It's the easiest one as far as software goes. Theirs makes the most sense. It's definitely the easiest, well built. Everything else is just a sucky ass version of something else. Right now, like the Chinese DSP software, and I don't mean that in a bad way. A lot of people use it. It's a good, solid software, but the phone interface is kind of confusing and kind of sucky. Rockford does have a very clean, simple to use. There again, I've only used it on the iPhone or a tablet. I use it on an old iPad that we have. It's super easy to use. You can download it and check it out. Fernando, yeah, he is going grizzly. P6 is the new 6-channel DSPM. Thank you. You were right. I had no idea. You need to get an Helix Ultra DSP. What do I need it for? I'm not gonna sell it. I'm gonna sell you an amp with a DSP built into it. Okay. What's happening? What's happening, Christopher? No. What? Why did I call him Christopher?
Christopher?
I don't know.
That's Christian.
Thank you, Christian. He hasn't bugged me in like 3 weeks, so I've forgotten about him. Sorry, Christian. Not really. Would you recommend getting an SMD IS-SG Plus?
Yeah.
Is that the one we use?
Yeah.
For FS on the tweeter? Yes. Here's the thing. When you're asking me if I recommend buying a tool, pretty sure the answer is always going to be yes, okay? Here's Fernando's drawer. So, DD1, CC1, IS, ISG, whatever, DMRTA, iTest mic, Bluetooth, blah, 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 PAA3, our old polarity tester, PT9A Plus. So, what are you missing? You're missing one. Oh, you're missing the amp dyno piece, which is totally useless for what you're doing. And then he's got his other drawer here. Pack, little cool tone generator, Fluke, Lumi, label maker.
Love my label maker.
Loves his label maker.
Yeah.
So the only SMD piece that he's missing is this. He's missing the DD1 Plus, which honestly I don't think we ever use. I don't think I've used it once. Just because DD1 works. It's better. You can get more precise with it, but I don't know. We've just never worked it into our workflow. And this is the cool little amp dyno thing that you can do a bunch of stuff with, like test the rise and fall of mankind and cool things. What Canadian products are you guys into? You're always so helpful. Wouldn't mind shipping you some. I gotta be honest with you. Marty, Canadian Marty, sent us a box of candy and chips and all this stuff one day because he's a candy-aholic. Marty, of course, was the installer of the year this year. Way to go, Marty. I don't know, man. I like surprises. I don't know. I just like stuff. Would you agree?
Yeah.
My Tessie has an Ultra.
Yes, of course.
Not gonna comment on that. Can I keep my subs in my Infinity Bose system and add a JL Audio sub for more bass? Okay, so the easiest answer to that is yeah, you can. Okay.
Would you?
No, a lot of people do it. You're not necessarily going to get more bass. My guess is you're going to get a lot more bass. What will happen sometimes in that is depending on the age, the year, how you're planning on playing it, what you're going to do, is for one, it's going to drown out the other subwoofer. You may get some cancellation. I doubt it because most of the times what happens is the new subwoofer is so substantially louder than that subwoofer you don't even realize it's there. Sometimes it will add some distortion to it because, like, especially if it's in like a trunk area, and you playing the bass and you're getting it to do things that it doesn't want to do. A lot of the times what I like to do is recommend that people take those out for if you can have a pass-through. Disconnecting it, using it as a passive radiator sometimes is okay. But no, I mean, a lot of people hook both up at the same time. You don't get more bass. The new subwoofer is going to be so much louder than that one. You're not even going to hear it more than likely. Christian needs help. The Pioneer radio rear output lower than front signal going through a DSP. No, it should be the exact same. Easiest way to test that is to see what's going on if you feel it is. Digital multimeter, set to AC current, play a test track, meaning play like a test tone. Try a couple different test tones. We recommend the Educar Test and Tune app. Make sure that nothing is hooked up to the output of the radio. Play like 1,000 hertz, play an 800 hertz, play a 40 hertz test track. You could also try just playing a pink noise, but the meter is going to fluctuate quite a bit. But that reading, those tests will tell you if there is a voltage difference between the front and rear RCAs. The only reason why you'd ever need front and rear RCAs going into a DSP is obviously if you are going to be doing fader. If you're not going to be doing fader, just run everything off the front. And that would be the better move. That's the theme from my car, the dark side versus the light side. Oscar just got weird on us.
Oscar is weird, man.
Oscar just aren't both, but doesn't he? I mean, to me, I thought he was going for more Harvey Dent. You know, a little Harvey Dent action. You know, what'd be really cool is if you really want to go for the dark side versus light side, get the Imperial logo and put half of it white, or get the put like the Imperial logo in black and then the Republic logo in white on like the trunk lid, so you have both those back there. It'd be like totally, then everyone will get it. And I thought his wheels were both the same color. Like, aren't they all four black? I feel like he needs to flip that.
Yes.
He needs to get two of the wheels white. Just saying, man, got to really step it up. You're kind of slacking.
I think he was going to like
Honda Steve.
Remember these
I get creative, but I promise.
There was a singer called Sia. I think that's what he's trying to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your take on DS18 speakers? I mean, that's kind of like you asking what's your take on cheese. And I only say that because, like, there's a lot of different types of cheese. And DS18, there's a lot of different type of speakers that DS18 makes. And there's a lot of parts and pieces. And, like, the one thing I do like about DS18 is, like, they are not afraid to try something new. They will put money into stuff and just be like, let's see what happens. You know, good, bad, and different. They are not afraid to go where others might not go. As far as how the stuff sounds, I don't know. We don't really, the only time I get to hear DS18 is like when we go to a show and I'm across the room and they're cranking it up to like ruin our cast as we're doing something live. So that's really the only time we ever hear DS18. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know. I can tell you when you're 50 feet away from it and you're doing live, DS18 sounds really good. They always manage to interrupt one of my shows. So that's go guys go. Time to go stamp out some save lives.
Go save lives.
You have a wonderful day too, man. Are you due live on Facebook today? No live Facebook today. The Facebook show is Mondays at 6:30 is when we do Facebook. We did do the news this morning at 9 on Facebook. We do that on 2 channels. We simulcast that. Dean and Fernando's Car Stereo Clips on YouTube, as well as the 5-Star channel on Facebook. We just started doing that because I was just reposting the link, and I was like, why bother? Let's just put it all up, and that way I don't have to worry about it. Tomorrow we'll be live at 6 o'clock on the YouTube 5-Star Car Stereo. Yeah. So we do 2 live shows a week where we answer questions. Monday 6:30 Facebook, Saturday 6 o'clock YouTube, and then the news show is just news, no car audio talk, no questions, no Q&A, just what's going on in the 12-volt world. Compliments of CE Outlook. It says today at 6. I will have to go change that. All right, that's my bad. I'll thank you guys. All right, so that means that when I set it up this morning, I was falling asleep and put it onto the wrong thing. Damn it.
Probably.
Hey, why don't you come grab this for a second?
I was trying to see because I got a notification.
What do you got a notification on?
About this thing.
What thing?
Right there.
Oh yeah, so I just did it wrong. Let's see. Edit.
What do you put?
I'm guessing I put today.
Oh, there you go.
So it's gonna be Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Got it, guys. Thank you. You guys are the best. Alright, all better. It might take a minute. It probably won't. But no, it is tomorrow, so thank you so much. Hey, before we go, which means we probably aren't going to go.
No?
Just want to remind you guys, since we were talking all about cone area, let's take a look at a cool-ass woofer. This one right here. This is the Morel. This is the Primo series subwoofer. You know, when you say Primo, you think it's Italian. It's not. It's Israeli. So I will tease one of the tips that we learned talking with Andy yesterday. When deciding when you want to figure out cone area, the big, now keep in mind, Andy designs speakers for a living, so that's why we called him, because we wanted to talk to somebody that this is what they do. Obviously, everyone has their opinions. I don't want opinions. I want somebody that does this for a living. Andy Waymire of Audio Frog does this for a living. When deciding how big the cone is, to measure the cone, like I said, we have a Morel Primo here. Pretty awesome. Big magnet, vented voice coil. Yeah, I like this. Compression terminal, single voice coil. When I want to find out how big this cone is, he said there's two schools of thought, a third of the way up or a half of the way up on the surround, because this is going to move air, not just the cone. So you have this whole area here that is going to, when the subwoofer raises up, is going to move air. If you're moving air, you're creating audio. His school of thought, or what he likes to do, is halfway up the surround. So the peak of the surround here is the halfway point. So when I go to measure the speaker, line up on the screw holes here and here, which is going to tell me I'm directly in the center, come across, and I'm at about 7 3/4 from peak to peak. So now what I need to do in order to find the radius, if you guys remember basic math, is take this length and cut it in half. So that'll be 7 3/8. I'm sorry, no, that'd be 3.5 plus 3/8. So 7.5, 3.5 plus 3/8 is
3 3/4.
Yeah, sure. No, it's 7 7/8. 7/8? No. Yeah, 7 7/8. It's 4 plus 3, so 3 7/8. There we go. Yeah, 3 7/8. If I'm wrong, it's okay. But we'll go with 3 7/8. So that would be the number that I then want to square and multiply by pi. But isn't this a sexy woofer? Now, the reason why we have this woofer here is because we are going to be putting this in Haley's car here next month. We have a full Maximo plus Primo subwoofer system that we're going to do in there. We'll be taking out the current system that's in there and replacing it with a full Morel system, because Morel is now a sponsor of the show. And we want to do a more or less the same style system we did with the stuff that's in there. We want to add a Morel system and see how that compares to it. Similar, well, the Morel's a little bit more money, but yeah, pretty exciting. This is a pretty woofer. I love the silver dust cap, not gonna lie.
Yeah, I know. It's like...
It's the simple things in life, guys. It's the simple things in life.
Yeah.
I know. So we'll be putting a set of the new Maximas 162 Mark II HEs for
Yes.
high efficiency.
Yep.
I got that one right.
Finally.
I know, right?
You get a lollipop today.
Do I want a lollipop. So, thank you guys for that.
Are you guys going to SEMA this year?
Yes, we will be at SEMA this year. As of right now, we're going to SEMA with audio control. So we'll be in the audio control booth doing the same thing. So if you're going to be there, please stop by, say hi, ask us a bunch of questions.
Yep.
Because that's always fun. Friday is open to the public. However, you do have to pre-register as well as buy tickets. So if you're interested in going to SEMA, it is in Vegas. It is a lot of fun. It's amazingly big, and don't plan on seeing everything in one day.
No. Hi from Australia.
Hey.
Yeah. When you guys gonna do the giveaway from Ground Zero?
So what we're shooting for there again is probably next month. We were trying to do it before we went, but the time just slipped away from us. So we have a few things we have to do next week before we get to that. But don't worry, it's gonna happen. They're gonna get given away
Over there.
It'll probably be the end of June, right before we go on vacation. That'll kind of be the last thing we do before we leave, is give those things away. So it'll be a great summer gift, as it were, getting everybody ready for December, which I'm really hoping we get to do the 12 Days of Christmas again.
How can I get tickets?
To SEMA?
Yeah.
Go to SEMA.com.
Yeah.
SEMA.com and register. So everything is at SEMA. And once you get on their mailing list, you get a freaking email almost every day.
Where is that black Addison box near the Morel stuff?
There's a black. Oh, this is the amplifier that's in this car. So this is the SR 5.600 5-channel amplifier that we were using to power this. It's a pretty cool little amplifier.
Yeah.
So that's this is the cool little cover that goes over it. You know, I got.
I like it. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get stamped.
Yeah.
Yeah. They pound that into it. So it's not lasered. It's pounded.
All right.
Pounding the rock. All right, guys. That's it for today. Go forth, be merry. Have a great rest of your day. Don't forget, have a great something. We'll see. Vacation is July sometime. I don't remember. It's still too far away to even think about it. I've already paid for it, so that's all that matters. So, yay!
There you go.
But we'll see you tomorrow, and if we don't, you guys have a great weekend.
Bye, guys.
So, see ya.